Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. There's the children crying for starvation. Just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother? To spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia? To spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry? To spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat Cape Town, gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? This one you got today,
Spoon TV. Spoon.
this one you got today.
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon. Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon Entertainment. To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon television. Spoon.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. There's the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother? To spoon. You want to know what is happening in Monrovia? To spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry? To spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Yes, what you got today? Beseku. Bala. Skidibidi dabado.
Yes, a special one from the CEO, Stan Tony with the spoon, and your boy Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Maryland to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep on gradually, my brother to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio to spoon. To spoon. You wanna get a news update to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today? Yes, what you got today? Beseku. Bala. Skidibidi dabado.
Police were on the scene, EPA were on the scene. They never stop the people, and they wouldn't most of our wrong guy. So for that reason, no judicial party for United Party here. They see what power will win you. Do you think that's a solution? United Party has always been patient money. As I know, CDC of the Congo party in this country. So you are not this country. Why we are not? Because when you are blamed, you see when I hate you, now know so what I is. So for that reason, we never take a normal. You don't pay evil for evil. Why you pay evil for evil? Because enough is enough. They continue judging their parties in it to harm us. So we're not being neutral. The president said they will be secreted for ourselves. So for that reason, we'll be secreted. Why you not? The man is not a wall of
say that we can never blame government, right? So we can blame government. I think the responsibility of the government is to protect their citizens. And you understand? Create an enabling environment for the citizens. Saying they will allow a scam institution to come in this country. Why would never election to scam the citizens? No problem. But I can tell all of you guys, I lost my money, I lost my everything, my cash. If I go to jail, I'll go to jail. I'm going to stage a protest. Although I raised on the platform, I will stage a protest. I live in Bonga, in Banga. I will stage a protest. I will go on the Vewa, I will barricade the Vewa streets, put tires, left fire until our plot can be met, until government can intervene. My cash, my everything, my family will be fair. And you understand, my family will be. How can you allow or unknowing business institution to come in this country? There is no security right now. So the country is not safe. That's why you're telling me what they're in election. No, I will stage a protest in Bonga, in Banga, I live in Banga. I will stage a protest. We will barricade government, intervene. Government intervene. I will not tell them like that. I had 300,000 on this.
Say again here, since I have the opportunity to speak with you, those that constantly threatening the states, constantly inciting people, I want to be clear. We will now tolerate those kind of citizens. Those that constantly insulting the president, I want to be clear that after this, there will be no citizen in this country, and I can defy you that will ever insult the president and think you will walk in the street freedom. If you have your grievances, you do it in a honorable way. If you have your views, express your views. For any insult and any threat, that citizen will be dealt with under the law. And it can be rules forever. So I advise you all.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEOs. Yes, sir. A special one from the CEOs. Then coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
To the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon.
Okay, folks, there's another great way to welcome you to the program tonight, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. We're here live on Spoon TV. We're live on Fabric TV. We're live on Super TV as well. This is where we get to discuss Liberia. with an eye on the bigger picture, and it doesn't matter where you are. This platform affords you the opportunity, regardless of the political view, to share. Once it has to do with our country and the issues that affect Liberia, we come right here to discuss them. So I want to say welcome. I'm encouraging all of you to join us tonight. My name is Nelson Colette, and I'm encouraging you, especially the females, to join us tonight. That is why I'll keep posting the link to the show in the comment section. So if you're out there, if you're watching the show right now, you want to be a part of the discussion, you can kindly click the link that I'm going to keep posting in the comment section, and you can join us here so we have a spirited discussion. It's always important that we discuss our issues, discuss our differences, discuss the different views we have for our country or about issues in our country, rather than going in the bushes. It has never served us right. It's never going to serve us right. Rather than taking, stones and taking knives and taking guns, going after our brothers and sisters, it's always important that we sit on a platform like this and come with our different views, discuss it, and that way we can create the new Liberia that we all yearn for every day. So I want to say welcome to the program again. I will like to now bring in the folks. Let me post the link again in the comment section here, while I try to bring Moba Zoka. And listen, and as you heard the CEO say, we're gonna have more new faces coming on today. We're gonna have more new faces coming on, and I also I already see in the background a brother from the CDC has joined us. So it means that we're going to have a spirited conversation this evening. And so I want to say again, welcome to all of you who have joined us. I'll try to bring Moba on. I'm looking at him in the background, but it appears that Moba is a bit busy. So let me see. Moba, you gotta sit up right, my man. What's going on? Why you?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to pull up. I'm trying to face my how you call it, man, my stuff. Yeah, today there's an adjustment to our office,
Okay.
Yeah, to our job and stuff. Yeah, man. How was the day today?
Great, man, and good to see you.
Yeah, man, we are again. We have to discuss the Liberian people issues.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And let me just bring the rest of the folks on, then we will go ahead and do the rounds. We're looking forward to having a spirited conversation, a very constructive and engaging one tonight. Let me bring on the lone ANC man. I don't know what's wrong with the man's lighting tonight. Jalayu, Cindy, I mean, what's going on?
No, I'm facing it. Please turn the light on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
The other one.
I don't know Jalayu. I don't know Jalayu for being in the dark.
No. I'm just getting ready. You see, I'm still butchering my shirt.
Okay.
I read again tonight from the gym. So
okay, that's great. Those who support corporate America, the guys love to have their lightings and everything to be in a very
we don't have any light issues here.
Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. Let me bring. I see Raymond is here. Raymond, welcome, Chief.
Welcome, gentlemen. Hope you guys had a pleasant day.
Yeah. Yeah. Somehow, some way. One thing I always sometimes I wonder how we, sometimes we talk about certain things, but we are all humans. We fall short. Sometimes you get caught up. So, I always talk about people about this road safety thing. I talk to people on it and so forth. But I don't know how I got caught up in it. For the first time in 3 years, I bumped into someone, somehow, and it was crazy. You know that got my day going somehow. But but I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. And I'll say this as I bring the rest of the folks on. It's always important to avoid the phone, no matter what it is. Just always avoid the phone once you're driving. It's very important. I always talk about it, but I experience it also. They say experience our best teacher. You know. So,
Put it by my computer.
okay,
Sorry to
so,
hear that.
Sorry, man.
yeah. Okay. So I got. Okay. So I think we're here now. We already welcomed Raymond. Ture, welcome.
Yeah, brothers, thank you, man. Nelson, thank you to the rest of the crew. We here again, talking in Labrampo business as we have made it our business. And hopefully we can keep this business going.
Yeah, we're not again. We're here again. So
Yeah.
let me say welcome to what's his name? Daniel Zler. Hope I got the name right, Daniel.
Yeah.
Daniel, my man, welcome to the show.
Y'all give me 1 second. And I'm make up Jerry or Jenna. I'm make up Jerry or Jenna. I meant to go the glasses.
Oh, like Jerry. Oh, Jerry.
Let's see. That glasses that Jerry took off.
You're not alone, Walmart. You're not alone. I couldn't make it out here.
The man called here today and then he took off the glasses. But you know one interesting thing? The man took off the glasses, but then his whole audio just disappeared.
Yeah, do it some kind of way.
It's very bad. So maybe you have to position his gadget well. But,
my audio is terrible.
Very terrible. Because we are.
Your feedback.
Whatever you got plugged in your ear, then take it out and put it back in.
Yeah. So, Daniel, welcome to the show.
Hello, my audio is okay now, right?
It's much better.
A little bit.
It's much better. Daniel, welcome. Mama, you gotta unmute. Daniel, you have to unmute. Daniel, your internet, you've disappeared. Last evening, I sent you the link so you can come on the show. You were lamp. Okay, so I hope you can come on. Sharif, welcome to the show, Chief.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Okay. It's Mr. Ako Suba. Hope I got your name right. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, fellow platform guests.
Okay. So, since this is the first time, can you just tell us where you're joining us from and if you support a political party, which political party do you support? Maybe we can kick off the conversation from there.
I'm in Minnesota and supporting JMB.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hey, JMB people, and you're getting plenty of them, man. Every deal getting new one.
You know, today Empire will rotate the JMB people. We'll be rotating them so that other people can keep coming in. So, Jerry, as usual, let me say welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. It's a pleasure. You know, it has become a duty. And thanks so much for the sacrifice you continue to make to inform our people, create a platform that we share our opinion. And I would like to say good morning from my end to all of our wonderful friends. My own friend, Sandy, from the Corporate America Arrangement. Yeah, it's a pleasure to always be here. We will not get tired until October 10, and even after we will still form part of the conversation to be able to educate our citizens so that at least we can have a better society. Because in the governance process, all of us are supposed to make sure we contribute. But as it is right now, we are all politics, and politics is about power struggle. And that's why we are on until October 10, because the train must land at the executive mansion, and JMB is the one that did that train. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll move straight into it because we want to make sure that we do this in time. First of all, let me say again to our sisters our sisters, our mothers, all the females out there watching the show. I'm posting the link here again. You can just click on the link and join the show. We would really appreciate if we have a female joining us tonight again, because we love to hear you speak about the issues. We love to hear the females make the case. It's very important that you form part of the national discourse. So we're encouraging the females to join us. So that's why I will keep posting the link in the comment section so that you try to join us. So we'll just go around so that you can all say what's on your mind, just 1 minute each. And then we will start with you, Moba. Moba, you have to unmute, sir. Moba, are you there? What's happening to Moba? I hope now Miami internet you get to know. Because I would in Miami said my internet stable to the more than you. Okay, so since Moba is encountering some difficulties, we can bring. Since Moba is Collie, can you mute? Can you mute? Collie, can you mute? Collie, can you mute? I don't know. Okay, so we had to let Collie go because he needs to make sure he's ready, everything is in tight before coming on the show. We hope our sister Justina can join us as well, our firing sister there. And someone says, Deborah says the link is making it difficult to join. I don't know. Okay, but let me say this. Okay, Justina has joined us. So I'm going to provide the WhatsApp line for just few minutes. You can just send a hi to that WhatsApp. I'll send a link to you and you can come on. We want to have as many people coming on the show this evening. So I see Justina is setting up. But let's start with you, Cindy. While we try to get Moba coming on as well, you can just start by telling us what's on your mind. What is that issue you want to talk about for just 1 minute? The CPP representative on the show.
No, well, good evening, gentlemen, and hopefully we will have a lady here soon. And good evening to the Liberian people. It's good to be here as always, and it's really good to be here tonight. I'm looking forward to a really great discussion. Let's talk about the Liberian issues. Well, today, if you follow the Spoon talk today, the wife of the late Melvin Early, I believe is the last name, Early, was interviewed today on she spoke today on Spoon, and man, it just broke my heart. You know, she talked a lot about what happened to her husband and the conversation she had with her husband prior to his death, and the struggle she's going through right now, running away from the government. It just sad. It speaks to the insecurity in the country and some issues some folks are going through just because of this government. And it just speaks to why Mr. Weah need to go. This entire administration need to go, and we need to bring a serious leader that will really address the issue of our country, including security, so that we all of us Liberians, can enjoy the country no matter where you come from, no matter your tribe. We all want to go back home. Often when we come here, people say, "Oh, you guys sit in America and talk about our issue, leave us alone." You guys need to understand your issues are our issues. We are all Liberians. We want a better country so we can all enjoy Liberia. We want to go back home, and we want you that are back home to also be safe and enjoy the nation. And that's why we are here every night. So I'm looking forward to a good discussion, gentlemen. And let's have a wonderful discussion tonight.
Great, thank you. Rima?
What's on my mind is the intimidation, the insecurity, and the political patriotism in Liberia. If you cannot be a praise singer, then you are against us. Quote unquote enemy of the state. If you're critical to hold the government accountable for all their misdeeds and their ill dealings, then you are an enemy of the state. As a result, a lot of our astute brothers who should be contributing to the forward march of our country are in the diaspora, starting all over again. Some people had to flee because of work in various government entities, and some other places that government has influence. And because they could not bow down and kiss the ring of the king, the evil king, they had to be out. Some people got their families in Africa and somewhere in Europe, have to work and just to keep them up. Others are in Liberia. I saw a video today on Spoon. Well, older man is saying he's wearing a CDC shirt. And they asked him, who do you support? He said, oh, I can say it. They said, yeah. He said, Joseph Parker. They said, but why are you wearing a CDC shirt then? He said, one young man told me to wear it, and I was even afraid what he was going to do to me. So the insecurity in our country, and a lot of people might not know, because some people who get out, they got other friends and family. They don't want them to be hunted. They keep quiet. But if everybody speaks out, Liberia will marvel on the extent of the witch hunting, because you do not bow down and kiss the ring of the evil king, Jawia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move to you, Sharif. What's on your mind? Quickly. 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, so today, as many of us saw the news, listen to.
Okay, so Sharif, sorry. Let me just read there quickly. So those of you following the show now, you can just send a message to that number if you find it difficult to get through the link, and then we will send you the link through that number on the stream. That's a WhatsApp line. So let me bring Moba back on. Okay, Moba, I hope you're here this time to stay.
Yeah. The internet trip, so I got a break. You know.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I was saying, we also listened to the lady today, Sister Ruth, whose husband was demised by this government. And it was quite shocking. And many of us actually shed tears, listened to the little boy narrating the story, trying to recollect some of the memory of our dad, even though the little boy is just a little infant. And it just tells us the state of our nation, that people are not freely to express themselves. Whenever the regime finds someone insecure about, and the only result they have for that person is to get them assassinated. It's very sad, and I hope, and our people are listening, they are watching, that they will come up on October 10th so that we can change this regime.
Okay, thank you. Turi, let's hear you, Chief.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Nelson. So pretty much, man, what's on my mind? That smart AI situation is on my mind, man. Was that at the National Police Headquarters today when people got out there today?
Yeah.
I mean, that right there speaks volume to the level of harm that AI stuff have caused our people. People not already got anything, then a little thing they had, then they actually lost all that I want to. So we actually live in a trying time when government is not really doing anything to enhance people's livelihood, and the little thing they have to, they're not doing anything to protect that. And a lot of people say, oh, that's not government fault, blah, blah, blah. But only the people that don't have sophistication on how government works and the responsibility of government, which is to protect citizens and their interests. And if government fail to do that, then our responsibility is solely and wholly for some government. So that AI situation is on my mind, and I really, really want us to really go in depth with it a little bit. I know we talked about it yesterday, but I don't think we really exhaust.
Thank you very much.
Enough. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Let's hear from you, sir. Yes. No, I'm talking about Mr. Suba.
I just came to just tell you guys that I just came in to tell you that I will not be able to stay on the show because a lot of wound were working today in my spirit. So I cannot, I will not be able to stay on the show. I just wanted to let you guys know. That's why I joined the show, to let you know.
Wow.
Sarah, about your mood, and we pray that
Yeah.
God be able to strengthen you, because no one can tell what another person is going through, especially psychologically and emotionally. I know what it takes to be in that space, but we pray for the visit of the Spirit of God to console you in these times.
Okay, and she left. Thanks a lot for showing up. Yeah, so I mean, it was very emotional today, So but we're gonna have a great show. So let's come back to you, Mr. Soba. You can tell us what's on your mind, and then we can move on.
The first thing on my mind is the election commission.
Okay.
I found out that people within the election commission are in George Weah's pocket, and that in case you try to rig the election debate, try to help in that form. The second thing is the court. The court system is not looking fair to me in that Spoon has taken the bond to the court, and the judge keep dodging to adhere to this bond. So if these things are going on, and that we have rigged the election and we take it to court, the court may buffer the interests of the masses. So these are some of the things that are on my mind.
Thank you. But when you say the National Elections Commission is in the pocket of the government, what do you mean? You want to? Maybe I can give you 30 seconds to expound that a little. Well, what do you mean?
Because the last lady is former state going out with the president. And if the president going out with somebody who is the election commission chairman or chair lady, it becomes a problem. That's the person could be biased.
If the president starts to do what?
I said, if the chairman of the election commission is or was in some affair with the president, that person must be biased when it comes to election results. Let's be realistic. That's what I'm talking about.
Don't you think their professional lives, is separate from, the social aspect or relationship aspect or whatever? Hello?
That's how it should be. But you are not a philosopher to read somebody's mind. So this is what I'm saying. We have to be particular of these things. We have to look at we have to have mechanisms in place to watch that election commission and look at the court system. What they did to cabinet general. They get away impeach that man unnecessarily. And besides that, even ECOWAS is not standing even a better chance when Nelson do when leave complaint for her to get her money by ECOWAS to the president to give her money. He had not done anything about it. They told them to give cabinet general his money. He had not done anything about it. So these are some of the things you got to look out to see if the president going to abide with the rules and regulations with reference to the election commission. And besides that, the former treaty that they signed, he was right in the hall itself. He broke the treaty. So these are some of the things that people got to look at.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's move to Jerry. You already did yours, so we will move to.
You say I did mine.
Yeah, you did your opening, right?
You are the first.
No, not that. You said, you were just greeting me, and then you said, now we come back to what
Imagine.
Anyway, whatever you say, then that's it.
Okay, let him do
your opening. What's on your mind? Quickly, Jerry. 1 minute, sir.
No, for me, my issue, I'm generally concerned about the elections. I know the train is on track. Nothing will get it distracted. But listen to Liberia representative to to the ECOWAS Parliament. He was emphasizing the role of ECOWAS because, you know, in these electionary periods, ECOWAS cannot sit and allow George Weah to continue to use the CDC people to attack opposition because we need a peaceful elections. It is time, instead of allowing the situation to reach to a clamorous level and then before you intervene, we need these elections to be peaceful because we are aware that our citizens are resolved. They are going to vote Joseph Boakai. So we need ECOWAS, we need the independent body, the churches, everybody to monitor this election and stand up to whoever that will create or want to ignite the kind of conflict that will undermine our peace process. So
thank you very much.
Encourage them, let them monitor the process before they start condemning other people. That same thing that happened to Senator Dillon. They were attacking him. As soon as he said we Johnston, cancel our church, everybody started talking. The thing should not be one-sided. Let them be bold and stand up to the authority that's supposed to maintain our peace. Anything else, it will be seriously dangerous for our peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's move. Raymond already did his opening, so let's move to Daniel. Daniel, why you decided to show us the dark side of your face? But go on anyway.
What I mean first?
Daniel, can you unmute?
Yeah,
Daniel?
The CDC.
Hello, Daniel, are you there?
Okay. Am I clear? Good morning.
Okay, you're clear.
I'm unmuted.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
unmuted. I'm unmuted.
You're clear. You're clear.
Am I clear? Okay.
Yeah.
Pleasant good morning to everyone. And okay, I'm Daniel Gisler, and this is actually my first time here. To be sincere, what's on my mind this morning is to retire, Joseph Numa Boakai, and I can tell you for sure that we are prepared to show the 1-1 victory of President George Manneh Weah. The next thing on my mind is the continuous attack of the district number 10 representative in Yeke Koruba on the peace of the nation. Something he said today, and it's something that we need to
have
take
that as part of
into
our
serious consideration and look into it. Like, he's prepared to go back in the bush and what have you. These and many more are on my mind, and I just want to let you guys know, in the Liberian people, that the coalition of democratic change remains faithful to this election, and we reassure the second round victory. It's not just second round, but the 1-round victory of His Excellency Dr.
So
George Manneh.
Daniel, the second round
Thank
victory
you.
or 1-round victory, which one are we talking about? Which one are you so certain? Which one are you so sure of? Daniel?
Daniel have a delay. Maybe you need to log out and come back in.
Yeah, Daniel, I think you have to do that. Can you log out and try to come back in, Daniel?
He'll be better going out and coming back in.
Yeah, so let's move to wow. Are you here? Is your camera off? Miss Deborah Krumah, is your camera off? Are you
I'm in
on
now.
or are you
Am
off?
I clear?
Mike, good evening, good morning, gentlemen. My camera is on, but I'm so sorry. Please permit me to be where I am right now for security reason, please.
Can she set up at least?
Well,
Yeah, Mr. Bro, if you think you have a security issue, I don't think you are compulsory to be on them.
No,
Yeah.
the thing is, listen to me. I'm at work. I want to participate. You guys, are there. And if I couldn't be on, I wouldn't have been there. But that's why I'm asking you to please permit me. If you say no problem, I can go off. But
So, being
Okay.
an advocate for Madame Deborah, sometimes people come by way of phone, their image isn't seen as well. So I think it's another way people can contribute. So
okay, so let's hear you, ma'am. Go ahead. Tell us what's on your mind. and then we can move on with the show.
Who, me?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, gentlemen. My name is Deborah Krumah, and I'm an advocate, a strong ambassador for Honorable Joseph Newman Boyka, and I'm sure, with the grace of God, by the grace of God, that Honorable Joseph Newman Boyka is the next president of the Republic of Liberia. What I have on mind has to do with the entire livelihood of Liberians. Fellow listeners, Liberians, gentlemen, on this noble platform, permit me to say that Liberia right now is at a crossroad as we have 56 days to October 10 election. There are a lot of things that are unfolding and happening within the country that we need to pay clean attention to. And as the show goes on, I would elaborate on those things that, if not careful, I foresee problems with the election, and it would not be good for Liberians. So thank you so much for having me on this platform.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks a whole lot for making your opening statement. So, Moba, you want to just do yours quickly?
What on my mind today was that little kid who mother, although she was, she bereaved, and it was saddening, but I was a little bit devastated when I heard that little kid talking on the phone. It caused a trauma. And secondly, that kid would go with that mind, with that heart, with that bitterness for this government. And actually, it not really sent a good signal out there for our nation. Because if you look at all the war that passed during those days, like the 1990 war, all the war, it happened because people keep malice and they see somebody who did something to their parents and they try to what? To revenge. That kid's small, but his voice have been heard over a million people, and we all, like, even when he get big tomorrow, he will listen to that voice and he will what? He will remember that this government killed my father. Georgia government killed my father. And what I can do to pay or to revenge. It will not go. No, that's how people do secret. People do a lot of different type of killing. So like I really felt bad this afternoon while I was watching the show. And end of the day, we all pray for the family, and we pray that that child will come out in a Christian way, that he will not be able to think about that, to revenge or whatsoever, because it's very, 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 very much bad. Yeah. As we go on and on, we'll discuss it.
Okay. Thank you very much for your contribution here. So let me just come in quickly, Mova. For me, what's on my mind, just before we bring our first video for our talking point, has to do with the respect for the rule of law in our country. So the other day we were talking about the code of conduct. We were talking about the constitutionality of the elections, tying it to the conduct of census. That is, in fact, the Constitution, tying it to the conduct of the census and what should be done before the election, the holding of census, how people are supposed to use.
Oh, 11 minutes ago.
Okay, am I okay? Are you guys getting me?
Yeah.
Sorry, someone is on my.
Yeah, why are you paying attention to someone being on your line? Can I make another advocacy?
I didn't go. All right, you can come in 30 seconds.
The lone wolf here, the CDC man, can we bring him in the first 5 so he can be one of the first to talk?
Yeah, when the man will do the shuffle.
He's a minority now. CDC is minority among the Liberian people, so let's treat them as such.
Yeah, Roman, when the man will do the shuffling, I think he control it from that side. All right, as we wait for nursing.
I had a election result bill. You know the party people plenty. JMB people plenty.
But honestly, the spoon talk is just a reflection of the society. Which side of Liberian people are on. You can't mount up several situations on any platform right now, especially.
I just wanted to respond. I just wanted to respond to Brother Aqua. I understand. I understand you do have some concern as regards to election commission, and I also understand that you believe that there might be some conflict of interest. But one thing that I can assure you that the Liberian people have made up their mind, and the only reason that we'll be cheated in this election is unless we remain complacent like we did in previous elections. We don't pay attention to the electoral polling stations. We don't have enough manpower for pool washers. That's the only way. Because there was one thing that was signed at the Farmington Declaration. What was signed in that was that for every polling station, a result would be announced based on polling station. So it's not going to be piled up to a general location that election commission has leverage to manipulate the number anyway. So if it's a polling station one, it will be 200 people. Everybody sign off, and then it's submitted via war rooms. So just you don't have to be too much concerned about that. We have people that will be there on ground in every polling stations, and that will work on behalf of the Liberian people. And the Liberian people will take care of their own into their own hands as well.
All right, thank you. All right, as Nelson was discussing about the code of conduct, he said according to the code of conduct, and when we look at the code of conduct have been violated by this government, and he wanted to discuss it tonight. I didn't want to play some video, but everybody get out there on the code of conduct, and we can discuss it as he come. When he comes, then he will play the video for us, and then we can go in detail or in depth to it. So, Sandy, we start with you. The violation and the code of conduct for I'll get the man back.
Sorry, I just had a little bit of issue. I had to switch my internet. So yes, but actually I mentioned the code of conduct just in passing. There's something I wanted to point out with the code of conduct in the Constitution. Well, talking about the conduct of censors, you know, they delayed in the conduct of censors, then affected the procedure, what should happen before the conduct of election, talking about the redemarcation of our district or reapportioning of our district and so forth. Yeah, so we talked about that the other day. But one thing that's on my mind this evening about our law again has to do with the issue of government vehicles, government properties being used for campaign activities or during campaign activities. Now, I know when we talk about this, a lot of people will say, oh, but the code of conduct have already been violated. There are individuals who should have resigned before participating in the electoral process. Some of them did not, and so forth. But it is concerning, and I think this is what's on my mind, because as we go to the election, these are some of the simple violations which I think if care is not taken could just result to, you know, some sort of violence or confrontations or whatever. I think our laws have to be respected regardless of who's in power, regardless of the different positions we find ourselves in. Our laws will always have to be respected. Now, there's a photo. I'm just getting that ready. I'm about to post this photo. Okay, still uploading. Of a campaign poster, a net vehicle being used. You know, most of the flyers and billboards that people pull up here, they put those billboards up in the middle of the night, you know. But then A billboard is being posted and there is a neck vehicle. The people who are posting the billboards are using a vehicle belonging to the National Elections Commission.
Mhm.
This is alarming. It is serious. The National Elections Commission plays a very key role in the peaceful conduct of this election. And I just thought to register here that there should not be any reason why government vehicles will be used for these electoral, especially campaign activities in our country. I just thought to register that. Now, so to our first talking point, more about today, Representative Yeka Koluba had a press conference. Representative Koluba, as most of you are aware, he is the lawmaker of District number 10, Montserrat County. So he had a press conference today, and according to the lawmaker, he is being threatened, or he has been threatened by the president. And so because of the threat, if he ever see any form of violence from the CDC again, he's going to resort to the bush, or he and his guys are going to go to the bushes. Now, there were two key things he said. Aside from that statement, he also mentioned the issue about the opposition community. According to Representative Yeka Koluba, why he support the opposition community, he does not believe, he is very uncertain as to whether the opposition community, and he was specific. He named the likes of Mr. Cummings, the likes of Ambassador Bakai. He said he's very uncertain. He's not sure as to whether those in the opposition community will do well when it comes to prosecuting the individuals who are current partakers of some of the terrible things going on in our country. Because according to him, those very people are whining and dining with the opposition already. Some of them have already started crossing over. So he thinks it's going to be difficult for Ambassador Bakai, or for Mr. Cummings, or for Councillor Tiawon Gonklo, and all of those people to prosecute individuals. Some of those individuals they've already started whining and dining with. So why I get this video coming up, you can chip in your thoughts on this. Maybe let's start with you.
Yeah, but when you look at the whole scenario, right? The president was wrong by telling the lawmaker the same way you elected, I seen when Honorable Yeka Koluba was elected by the people. So now, if you would come out and say, if we meet under the market hall, you'll see what will happen. What do you expect for Yeka to say? You should just sit down and pour it to him between his legs? No. He got to defend himself. He got to say what he got to say. Do I probably support some of his abuses? Well, no. But if a man is in our certain words, like in our common English, a hungry man is an angry man, and you know, Yeka Koluba been a target for the government. The government been targeting Yeka all through from Joria regime up to now. Yeka has still be a target, and it is wrong. It is wrong. Why? Because sometimes Yeka come out and express his grievances on national issues, and pertaining to the opposition joining some political party from the CDC supporter joining the opposition. You know, Yeka just angry. You know, he can say what he want to say. We agree, but at times he always say the facts. You know, we look at Kun. He said Kun. He and Kun one time get into it in the house, and Kun tell him some words, say some things to him, and he still get it in mind. So he think that Kun will not be able to prosecute this Joria regime. But I can tell you, Kun is a VP. Kun is the VP. Who is the president? JMB. Joseph Yema Baka will prosecute every soul. Nobody will talk to him and agree. I know what he can do. I understand him. And I know when he says something, he mean it. He stands for truth, transparency. He ain't going to listen to somebody vibrate and tell you, no. Someone will be to his door. But you know what? Will not be to his door because he will prosecute anybody, everybody. So long you involved into corruption and you being investigated by the government, the JMB government, guess what? You'll be prosecuted. That's my thought on that.
Thank you. Let's hear from you, Sandy.
Yeah. Well, good evening again. Look, Mr. President for the respect of the presidency, I know have said some things. He challenged the lawmaker to a fight. He said we will fight. Look, there has been a beef between President Weah and and Representative Koluba for a very long time. And we know that Representative Koluba have used some words on the president that I would not encourage anyone to use. I'm sure he's angry. I'm sure he have all reason to be. But we have observed their relationship to be bitter and to be ugly. But to go to an extent and say that if I'm threatened by the president again, and I mean, the president said when we meet, we'll fight. So to go to an extent and say when I'm threatened by the president, we'll go into the bush, should be condemned. First of all.
No, excuse me, 1 minute. Let me correct it, man. He never said it. He said if they rig the election, that topic was based on the rigging of the election.
No.
Okay.
It was from the threat aspect. Baba, I think we have to give Sandy a chance to learn, because I think Sandy is on path. He was speaking from the aspect of the threat that was, according to him, raised by the president. So he said the president threatened him. So if the president does that again, So, but let's get Sandy to learn. I'm trying to prepare this stuff.
Thank you. So I have my 2 minutes back. Thank you very much. Look, on a serious note, we must condemn that statement, and I do condemn it. The last time I remember people went into the bush, just few people that could have addressed their differences. The Crown, the Guillaume that could have come to a table and addressed their differences. The Samuel Doe, the Charles Taylor, the Prince Johnson that could have come to a table to address their differences. Few people went into the bush, and we all know what happened to our beautiful country. Not only did we kill hundreds of thousands of Liberians, we destroyed every infrastructure in the country. And an African first independent nation went back to square zero. So when somebody say, I will get back into the bush, it's a scary statement. Our children should not be hearing that. Our generation should not be hearing that, because when they went into the bush, when the same people like Yeke Koluba then went into the bush, it made some, Nelson, you're playing a kind of distracting me. Yeke, I mean, Nelson.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah, okay. I thought I'll get my 2 minutes back again. No, I keep getting.
Oh, I'm not sure you have the 2 minutes.
But they keep distracting me, so thank you. But seriously, I mean, the president obviously should mind his voice. Like you said, a hungry man or angry man can, provoke man can say anything. But certain statement, we must just be careful. I'm going to go back to the bush, or we're going to, go into the bush. We cannot determine how serious or unserious Yeke is. And considering that he was in the bush before he was part of the war, anyone would take that statement very seriously. There's a better way we can address our issues. There's a better way we can address our grievances. We must all work towards maintaining the peace. No matter how bitter we are, no matter how angry we are, we must maintain the peace. I understand the country is insecure, is unstable, poverty is ringing, the president we have in power, he's not a leader. I understand that. That's why we are here, to remove him. But let's do it democratically. And let us not make statements that will scare people away from Liberia. We don't need to go back to the bush. We need to resolve our issues on the table. I want to go to Liberia and go through Nima County while going to Grand Gide, stop in Tabata and enjoy my GB. I don't want to have any war in Liberia again. We shouldn't go back to the bush. So Yeke will retract his statement, and I'm sure, hopefully he doesn't mean it, but he should retract the statement. That does not only scare Liberians, it scares investors. It scares people away from coming to our country. And that statement must be condemned. That's my stand.
Nelson, you're muted.
Sorry, guys. I'm doing maybe 3 things at the same time, but you can go ahead, Sharif. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to disagree with my brother Sandy on this topic a little bit, simply because when George Weah came out and said that him and Yeke will meet at the market, when he made that threatening remark,
Sharif, are you there? Wow, Sharif? Did we lose Sharif?
That will be going with Sharif Khan with me after today.
Have they hacked our RT expert?
You talk against the president.
Ture, go ahead. Ture, make your point.
All right, man. Look, my man Sandy, my man, you and I agree virtually on everything we say, because you and I apparently we drink from the same fountain. But look, let me say this. I disagree with you slightly, though, not entirely, right? And I disagree with the part that says Bush, because Bush is synonymous with something ugly that none of us will actually, even, think about in the slightest of terms. But look, let me say this: the president have not really done anything to cultivate this community, this country that he's running into a stable state, considering everything the president have done. And I'm not even going to personalize it between here and Yeke Kolba, because we all know there is something there. There is a history there between the two of them. But President George Manneh, we have done enough in terms of bringing things under control, in terms of deflating any potential tension, gathering situation. No, the president have not done any of that. Everything the president have done is to inflate, is to incite, and is to make the situation even more than what it is. When you the head of the country, and you are making remark that's inciting violence, then what do you expect from a lawmaker who all know will not have any filter to hold back? Look, we can say this, but the president have to take responsibility to lead. That's the first thing the president have to do. When you do that, then you alleviate anything of such a statement coming from a representative, and a representative that we all know was elected like the president. So it's just simple as that. The president needs to watch what he says, and then everybody will follow suit. But if the president is continuously inciting and going at people, then we expect stuff like that to come. But my uncle, like I said, Lawman people, they are my uncle. My uncle need to calm down. Like Bush, nobody want to go in the bush now. We want to tell the people, President George Manneh, we have 6-year record. That he asking the Liberian people to give him another 6 years. Then my question is, Mr. President, what do you do in our first 6 years that guarantee our people to give you another 6 years? Come on, man. Right. That's what we're talking about. Thank you.
Before we go to the next person, can you do some share for him? Bring Roman to the last and the CDC guy to Roman so it can be balanced. So when he talk, the shuffle in. Bring Romans, make Roman the last, and bring what his name? Daniel, right? Bring Daniel to Roman place. That would be better. Then Roman can be the last. You still missing? You mute. You can hear you. Mute.
Okay, so I was saying we'll bring our lone female on set here. So
I agree. I don't mind being the last, Nelson.
Okay, so Madame Deborah, are you here with us?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. What's your take on this discussion?
I want to broaden our scope of discussion and look at it from a holistic point of view. And then I will narrow it down to Honorable Yeke. I read a caption today that said government something wants to arrest the CRC for efforts. And I strongly condemn it. Why? Because I want to agree with my brother Toure here. These are the things that led to 1990 senseless civil unrest. If you tell the cat not to eat the fish, tell the fish not to smell. We all sitting here saying we don't want war. We don't want to go in the bushes. But there are things that prompting people to want to go into the bushes. And Honorable Yeke Koluba is sounding it. It's not something that he read it once, but it must be said. When you keep provoking people, you keep abusing the rights of the very same people who elected you. Because remember that the president, the government officials, the legislatures and senators, they are elected for, by, and with the people. So I took them today to 1979. What happened? We all heard about the Rest Riot, but I told people, say it was not ready, Rest, R-I-C-E. What happened in 1979 was mainly the indigenous people wanted their voices to be heard against the bourgeoisie, which consisted of the Tory party and Moja that became Liberian Progressive People Party. They decided to revolt and fight for equal rights and justice for all. That if Mr. Benson child can attend the university and have all the benefits as a Liberian, so is Mr. Yakparo from Banga. In the 1979, Liberian citizens got into the streets. And what happened? President Talbot made his first mistake. He ordered the arrest, and because of it, people's lives were taken, infrastructures were damaged, business people lost a lot, people, children got hurt, and those that were out in the street leading this demonstration were put in jail. As a result, people went into the bushes. How? This is what led to the 1980 coup. Remember, I'm saying it again. And people don't want to hear, Liberian people, when you're speaking and telling them the truth, they don't want to hear it. But we must face the fact, because if we're not careful with this election, Liberians, I'm afraid. So, because of the insecurity, because of the marginalization, because of the abuse of power, 1979 led to the indigenous people going in the bushes and don't talk over. When he took over, because they felt they were being oppressed. All right. The indigenous people took over 1990. When they took over, there were a lot of positive things that they did. For example, I wrote, if you go in some of these chats on my page, you will see I wrote on it today. Doe brought about the introduction of the coins. because Liberians, business people were taking the US dollars out of the country. As a result, there was scarcity of the US dollar, and he was trying to avoid investment because the 13 men were put on the polls for investment. So he introduced the coins. So what happened? There are a lot of infrastructure buildings were built 1980. But into Doe leadership, his tenure, he became a dictator and he began to change. All right. And it brought about problem. The oppressee became the oppressor. All right. So as a result, Liberians again were not satisfied. He began to witch hunt. He began to go after the crime ethnic group, began to go after the Nibandans, the Guilds, and the Manons. That's when Thomas Quimper, 1985, held that failed coup. And what happened? He was captured. He was his body was
You have 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Okay. I mean, so this is it. God, you giving let me just say something. I think you guys have been talking. I'm the only female here. So you put the pressure too much on me that you can't give me chance. So then they will not encourage me to even want to be on. Because a lot of people talk and then I'm talking, you want to cut me off. So it just cut me off right now.
It's just that we have to make the round. So
yeah, but don't be biased. No, don't be biased. The other guys then talk for a very long time. Been quiet. And I did not cry. I did not cry justice because by right, being the only female, you should have given me a chance. But with the passionate. Now I'm talking, you cutting me off. So I mean, it's not encouraging me to stay on.
You got 1 minute. Let's
no, I'm done. I'm done. Go ahead.
No, let's make it 1 minute.
There's a minute coming, right? I was looking at the time, right? You went more than 2 minutes, but it's okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Yo, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
Ramon, come in.
Yeah, Ramon, let's hear you. What do you make of
so my sister said a whole lot that I agree with.
Not correct.
My sister said a whole lot that I agree with. You know, suppression of the people will not continue. No group of people will bow down to suppression forever. This government has done a whole lot to disrupt the peace. The mysterious killing, even corruption to the extent in which it's being done. $16 billion are unaccounted for, 25 million mop-up exercises. And who do I know in Liberia have endured what Yaka Kulba have endured? CDC was in opposition for 12 years. They were very radical, their utterances. And the things they said, nobody went to any of their houses and did what Yaka Kulba have endured for these years. You know, sometimes I wonder how we discuss these things without even mentioning the things that this government have done to Yaka Kulba. I believe if Yaka Kulba had not exercised a lot of tolerance and restraint, what he mentioned today would have been long is overdue. But I will still use this opportunity to call on Yaka Kulba and all other oppressed people of Liberia. It's just a matter of time. George Weah and his cronies, their time is out. We have an opportunity to use the elections to keep them out. Let us not go into the bush. But again, provocation. And he laid some premise. And it was a supposition. He said, if they do this, will lead me to doing this. So the president utterance, being the president, control CRC, heading the state, the army, the security apparatus, telling an elected representative who doesn't even have 2 police officers assigned to him, saying if we meet, we're going to fight. The fight is going to be unfair. He got everything to throw at Yaka Kulba. Yaka Kulba got nothing to fight him back other than going high in the bush where he can be under the disguise of the trees and fight back. So President Weah have no business threatening an elected official like yourself. You are a servant of the people as Yaka Kulba. You got a privilege to be the president. He has the privilege to be a representative of his people. Your utterances should be responsible. You speak as if you do not know what the role of the presidency is. I will first condemn you in the strongest term. The office of the presidency is not to threaten the ordinary people. You are not to misuse your power and abuse your power. If anything outbreak in Liberia, we will hold you responsible, and there will be no place for you to hide. I want to use this opportunity to call ECOWAS and our international community to condemn our president in the strongest term and call him to order. These are the behavior that will lead to an uprising in our country, and the ordinary people will suffer. We pray God that this doesn't occur. But if it occurs, we should know who are responsible. President, we are, you are. Cease your ill behavior. Cease. This cannot continue. You're not a king. You're a president, and the president is a servant of the people. Behave as such. We know you do not deserve being there, but for some reason you are. Pretend like you are a president.
You have 30
For
seconds.
God's sake.
30 seconds.
I'm done.
Thank you. So we move to the lone CDC representative on the show tonight. Daniel, the floor is yours.
Okay. A pleasant good morning. I don't know if I'm clear.
You're clear.
Okay, thank you. I'm Dana Gisler, and I speak here tonight as a member of the CDC National Campaign Media Secretariat. And let me say firstly that I would like to somehow agree with some statement of our sister here, Dora. But something Mr. Sandy said, and as well as to read. But then before going to the issue, I would like to ask the both of them, do you really think that the former warlord in Mr. Yeke Koruba mean good for the country? Do you really think so? Now, Mr. Sandy, let me begin with him. He firstly said he don't think that Yeke Koruba meant what he said. But again, I would like to ask you, have you forgotten that it is the very Yeke Koruba who has been in a constant habit of threatening the peace of the country? Have you forgotten that it's the very Yeke Koruba who has always been in a habit? Again, let me take you back. Have you forgotten that it was Yeke Koruba who recently formed a rebel group called the Opposition Protection or Support Unit? Have you forgotten? Does that mean peace for the country?
You said what's the name of the group? What's the name of the group?
I can just remember. I don't know, Opposition Protection Unit or what.
Oh, you don't remember the name of the group?
I mean, I don't just care about the name of the group because that doesn't mean nothing or not good for the country. But he has done that. Was it not the very Yeke Koruba? Is it the very first time that Yeke Koruba was threatening the peace of the state? It's not the first time, neither the last time. Somebody said the president's responsibility, is not to threaten or go after, a federal statement. What I would like to ask you, is it the responsibility of the sitting representative, a branch of government in our democratic republic, which is said to be the very first branch? Is it the responsibility of a sitting representative to threaten the peace of the state? And I will tell you no.
Okay.
You see, again, something you guys has forgotten. President Weah remains the most peaceful president in the history of Liberia. The history of 2011 till date can tell. If President Weah,
I want to get from you. What do you make of the other side of this entire thing here, where Representative Yeke Koruba is saying that the president threatened him during his recent campaign visit to Peace Island in District 10, when he said, when the day would meet, one of the market building would sleep there, and the lawmaker considered that as a threat. What do you mean?
Let me read that, Colette. Let me ask you, Colette. If I say, Colette, this evening we shall meet at Broad Street, in what way does that mean a threat to you? In what way does that mean a threat to you? But because of his arrogance and uncontrollable, reckless behavior, that's why you always come out to misquote the statement and misunderstand the statement of the president. But the president has in no way given hint to many of the reckless statements of Yeke Koruba. But again, there's politics. But that politics aside and preach the peace of the state. The country we are being, for me, I did not see war. I can tell you for free, I did not see war. But I know that war destroys the state. I mean, if we cannot control our anger and our attitude towards the state, a statement. If we are always in the concert, somebody just said the president is inciting. Well, I would like to ask you again. Between the president and Yeke Koruba, who has been constantly inciting the peace of the state. You at times we need to talk. We need to call a spade of spade at times. We need to call a spade of spade. It isn't because we are in different, or political sides, or we are taking sides with or different political group. Well, I call it spade of spade. Yeke Koruba always been the constant habit of threatening the peace of the state, and you come here and say the president has been the constant habit of I don't know what you mean. But again, I condemn the statement, and I would like to call on every peaceful Liberian, especially Sedition, let's remain calm, and I can reassure you that we will give, and we will give the opposition, which the Unity Party, a resounding well-run, just well-run victory.
Two questions for Daniel quickly. Raymond,
question for him. I'm listening.
Well, Daniel asked me a question. Could I use my 30 seconds to respond to his question?
What was the question?
He asked me, he said, I said the president inciting violence. And he asked whether the president Yeke, who utterance have incited violence.
Okay.
So can I go ahead?
You have 30 seconds to do that, sir, please.
My dear brother, Yeke Koruba have caused no Liberian to flee the country. George, we have numerous former seditions of yours. The former passport director will listen to her account.
I don't hear the first statement.
I said, Yeke Koruba have caused no Liberian to flee the country for safety because of insecurity. George, we have. I'm quoting a former passport director who is a sedition, a young man like yourself, who has a right to live in Liberia and flourish as a Liberian citizen, supported CDC, supported the election of President Weah, had to flee Liberia, and we listen to her utterances. We all know her accounts. I did not mention them. The former BBC reporter from Liberia left Liberia. Her account was George Weah was after him.
Martin Cody.
Herman Costa, Flair Liberia, was in Sierra Leone. We know their account. And on and on and on. And I can tell you, no Liberian has been harassed, threatened, whom vandalized multiple occasions as Yeke Koruba. Not a single sedition. You cannot step in his shoes. Caused by whom? Has President Weah condemned these things? My brother, you're speaking fallacy. You're not speaking truth. Let's speak facts.
If you say condemn, how do you mean? How do you mean? In what way? On what account? I mean, we speak, whenever we speak, we should speak with facts. Today, let me ask you, where is Henry Costa? Where has he been? You said President Weah caused Henry Costa to flee the country. Wasn't it a very clear Henry Costa was been parading the country? I don't know. I don't really understand why what actually you are trying to say. If you want to compare the warlord in Yeke Koruba to the president of Liberia, I don't know what you're trying to say.
Thank you, Daniel. Let's go there, Daniel. Thank you. Who else have a question for Daniel?
Yeah.
I think we're set to go now.
No, I want to ask Daniel, right?
Yes.
I don't have a question, but he mentioned my name. I mean,
what you say?
No, but yeah, one of you can just go ahead with a question, then we move.
Go ahead, Malba.
Yeah, my question. you said Joel is a peaceful man, peaceful president. He's been peaceful long since until now. But when we look at his recent time in the presidency, he has been one of the worst, and someone who can keep grudge. One, my first question is, the thing you called about discussing today, when the people went to a house, when you were having a party for the children in a yard, when the CDC...
it was at Mutu spot. It was not really at this house. It was
okay. Thank you for the correction. When they were having an identical party that day, the people that went there beat people cheering and went and messed the whole area up. The report was filed to the police station. There was no investigation done. How you see that? Is this identical issue is peaceful, or that's something that maybe you just sit down and you say, okay, you know what, let me just wash it up and let me just see it. And the second question is when the auditor got killed. Let me just say got murdered in a car. What the president said? There was any investigation done? There was any forensic or pathology who work on the body and bring and say, okay, you know what? Send the people that were pressing. There's a people and the publish it, everybody see it. It ever happened? So what making peaceful in that direction?
Thank you. So Daniel, 30 seconds. Why should somebody consider your candidate as a peaceful person, or the president? Why should somebody believe that the president is peaceful? Daniel?
I don't know. Yes, am I clear? Are you getting me?
Go ahead.
Are you getting me? Let's go back to the history of 11 elections that was held in Liberia. Now, I think if some of you listen to the recent speech of the president, I want to be asked such a question. Again, if you ask what made the president peaceful, I would like to tell you this. There's a scenario that was quote unquote delivered by the president of recent. He said, and I quote, during the 2011 elections, when he went with Winston Thomas Jr. as Bastion bearer, after the election, he was caught by the former president of the Republic of Liberia, Emmanuel Eden Joseph Seti.
We lost Daniel. We're going to go to Mr. Silva. Are you there?
Yeah.
Let's go to you, sir. Yeah. So, what do you think of the statement? Maybe I should just play the video a bit, then you can come in with your input.
Former President Weah to run the country the way you feel like. George Weah cannot be coming to a district or to a specific place for a program. They block all the street. We will not condone that. This is my district. I will respect any documents that come from Election Commission. If there's a document that they are coming to a specific place in district number 10, I will avoid that place. But if there's no document, they just decide to block the place, I will move in the street with my people. We will not sit here for George Weah, former President George Weah, killing the George Weah of the CDC, to disrespect and harass the Liberian people. He came in my district. He should have a program. He was having a program to Susan Berry. But the people came here and blocked the place. While on my way, I followed with them. And he went to Peace Island while he was speaking to Susan Berry, while he was speaking. The next time, Yeke and myself follow in the market, we always sleep in the market. George, let me say to you. Just how you said it for me, I said it for you. And the day you and myself follow, I know you can't kill me, I will kill you. Since you want to kill me, you think we'll be a friend of you, George, yeah? And you say you said it for me? And you say you said it for me? The day anybody from the opposition is being brutalized by civilians We will get in the street with brutal last, not less than 100 seditions. Joshua, if you want a plane to take into Rwanda, I can help you. If you wanted to take into Rwanda, I can help you. Since 7 months, almost a year ago, I was illegally suspended from the house. I went to all the associate justices. The rule that the house should pay me. And you check my recordings, go back to my recordings. Mofo Chimo said, so long he speak up, he will ensure that I don't get my salary until after election. Yes, it's happening. I don't trust the Supreme Court. I do not. That's the reason why people that impeach cabinet illegally, cabinet general illegally, must be prosecuted. So if Honorable Cummins or Honorable Boakai, Ambassador Boakai, or Honorable Tewon Gonglo, or Moluba, Honorable Moluba, our political opposition political leader team will put them to power, and they don't prosecute those people. They're wasting their time. Those people need to be prosecuted. People have disrespected the Constitution and they need to be prosecuted, especially people from the Supreme Court that impeach Kabila Janneh illegally against the Constitution. My suffering came from people like Jeremiah Kunde when we were in the house. It is because of Jeremiah Kunde today I can't get my salary. Because he and all told me, if I was speaker, I was going to get all of them to drag you. He and myself passed through a lot of things in our house. And Honorable Boakai, I want Honorable Boakai to become president. I want Honorable Cummins to become president. I want Honorable Gwangolo to become president. I want Honorable Moluba and other opposition leaders to become president. Those are the people I believe in. But it was a challenge between Senator Yomli, Delon, and myself. Delon said, oh, in the 500, the people will be prosecuted. I watched to see. And it's a challenge. I told them nobody, they will not prosecute anybody. Because of the caliber of people that are getting into opposition in 4 months. People say, why you guys should talk that way? I will talk the way I feel like. Because I am hurt. People that hate me, today come in and pretend they are oppositions. People that hate me and put things in my face, today come in and say they are opposition. Watch your opposition to see. I believe in the opposition. I'm going to vote for the opposition. But if the opposition sit there, people that say, oh, that drug problem, that old age problem. You know, Lord, what we can do. No, we know today that Cabinet General was impeached illegally. We know.
Oh,
there you have it.
Oh, okay.
There you have it. So let's get your take on the video, sir.
Am I the one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yaga Kuruba took everything from my mouth already because the city are talking about the justice system in Liberia. If Buffer Chima can tell him that he will not get his salary until after election, you see, that he have gone to the court so many, I think 2 or 3 times for him to get his salary. He has not gotten there. So let me say to the CDC man there, if you are in Yakuruba's shoes, you go to the court so that you can get redress to get the money that you have worked for, that the Liberian people have trusted you to in that position for you to get your salary. And somebody, because he feels that he's the speaker of the house, if threatening you that you're not going to get that money and go to the court refuses to give you to authorize for you to get that money, will you be satisfied? If you can answer that question, then where my case will rest.
Well, I mean, go on.
Okay.
All right.
I don't think the CDC guy is off and on. I'm hoping that we can get him to come. Yes, I'm hoping that we can get him to
the
come.
men in power and all that never not straight. What kind of problem here too? I was the phone in power.
But I'm still posting the link in the comment section. Those of you out there, you can come on. You can join the discussion. But now let's look at you wanted to make a point, Cindy?
Yeah, if I'm allowed.
I got this. Go ahead. I didn't even remember my point.
Go ahead.
Cindy, let's get this. There's a point Representative Yeka Kolba made here that which I think a lot of us are not giving some attention to. Let's look at the current structure of the opposition community in its entirety. Representative Cordova is expressing uncertainty over the ability of the opposition community to prosecute, because in the midst of everything we're talking about, the reason why a lot of people want a change is because they want those who are in charge, who are doing certain things that are not in place, to be prosecuted. Does the opposition community have the ability to prosecute? Considering that it's campaign time, in fact, there are other people crossing the board. In fact, second round, there will be other individuals who will study the environment and they will cross carpet and so forth. Let's start.
Yeah, let me get jump in there quick. Let me get jump in there quick. This is the reason why JMB has brought John Molu on the train. John Molu, I think he was on Spoon, and he told us that within 100 days' time after they have inaugurated JMB, they will start working on that issue. So there will be a war crime court, and he said they can go as far back as Eddie Johnson Sirleaf's time if the laws permits it. So what are we talking here? You think JMB is somebody that I trust? You think you bring Moriba on if you're not very interested in what Moriba can do? John Molu can do, because that's the reason why John Molu is on the train. He said, even the Liberian people don't even know how to steal. They can be stealing. He said, "Oh, I took the money I gave to the person for this other thing here." You are telling us on Spoon. You see, so that's the reason why Eddie Johnson Sirleaf doesn't even want to see Joseph Boakai running, but there's no way that she can stop Joseph Boakai, because she called what was money Lawrence to run with Cummings, and she refused. He talked with DeLong. DeLong said no. All of them want to go to Boakai. So these are somebody they want to bring Boakai down, but it will not work. The masses are for him.
Thank you. Let's go to Moriba. Moriba.
Yeah, actually, when it comes to that part,
right? You see right now, does the opposition have the ability to prosecute?
Yes, Boakai will prosecute people. No, let me tell you something. You know, people who don't know Boakai, they take him to be a joke. People that can say things because they know him. I know some friends who worked with Boakai when he was in office. And when they explained his story to me, I did my own background check. It was true. Boakai is a man of principle. Now, like what the people who stole from the Liberian people, from Eddie Town all the way to Jawia Town, and someone now in the opposition. Look, there will be a quote, a war crime economic quote that will be said. If anyone you can beat JMB on his son, if your hand is in a cookie jar, you'll be prosecuted. If you get property, that property will be seized by the government, and investigation will go on. So all the things we're talking here, like I agree with. I agree with my brother, my big brother, Yeke, because he's angry. He will say what he want to say, because a lot of people who now in the opposition heard him before, and he feel very, very intimidated by them, and he heard. So he will come out to say, to say those things, so people can hear him, so people can understand him too. That all the people you're warming with, you're dancing with, you're walking with, they are the same people who are against me when I was talking for you people.
Now,
this is my question. Is now according from Yeke, this is my question. According from Yeke, according to him, if Boakai take power, will he prosecute those people? Yes. My answer to that question is yes. Boakai will prosecute all those people who hands in a cookie jar. Trust me. I can't one story to you last night.
You're talking about a situation wherein, for example, you were just talking about War and Economic Crimes Court. You know that Senator Prince Johnson and Senator Darius DeLong had a clash on this issue of War and Economic Crimes Court. Senator Johnson was very annoyed when, and he felt that Senator DeLong was using the War and Economic Crimes Court thing to always hit at him, and it was a very serious issue between the both of them. So now, looking at the political field, the stage right now, if we were to have a situation where the Unity Party wins, and considering the fact that Senator Prince Johnson is the you know how do you call it? He's one of the hierarchies in the MDI. Do you really think that a unity party government will prosecute, will muster the courage to even bring about war and economic crimes code that a lot of people have advocated for and ensure that some of those individuals are prosecuted?
Of course. Why I say that? Even Prince Johnson came out and said he begged Georgia to bring a war crime code. I remember vividly when Prince Johnson was in the house. There was an argument between him and one of the citizens representatives, and they threatened him. They said that if you close the mouth, if you keep attacking us, we'll bring the war crime code. And one time he came out, he said, "I challenge you to bring it. I'm ready for it. I'm prepared for it." So last Sunday we come and say because for the government, because when you supporting JMB, so there will be no war crime code. No.
Okay.
No, there will be a war crime code. We will go to Baka, and it's already on his agenda. War and economic crime code. We will pursue it, and it will be, and he will bring it, and all the people who will be indicted will send in prison.
Thank you. Let's move to Sandy. Sandy,
Get me 30 seconds. Please give me 30 seconds. I'll be leaving for work. I just want to say something. Can you allow me, please?
We have to make the round just as we go in the queue. That's
no, I have to go to work. I have to go to work. Just give me 30 seconds. I want to say something.
Okay. Take your point.
Okay. I work with a lady. Last time we were talking about this election, and she asked me who you are in favor of. I said Joseph Boakai. She said, "Well, I for one, I was for Cummings." But when I told one lady that I was for Cummings, the woman said, Cummings will not do anything. But listen, what Boakai did before that I know of. So the woman said, "What is that?" He said, Boakai had a secretary in his office. And this judge had done something for him, and he took 1,500 that I put in the envelope and gave it to the secretary to give it to the judge. So when she gave the money to the judge, she took $500 off and gave the $1,000 to the judge. So after a while, the judge called Joseph Boakai and said, "Oh, thank you very much for the money you sent. I highly appreciate it. I was not even expecting them." So before the conversation could end, Boakai asked him, "How much did she give you?" The man said, "Oh, the $1,000 you sent, that's why, I'm telling you, thank you for." The man said, "Oh, okay, thank you." He went to the office and called the woman. Told the woman, "How much did you give to the judge?" The woman said, "Oh, I was there. I told you $500. I gave it $1,000 to the judge." You know what Joseph Boakai told the woman? The $500 you took, use that $500 to support yourself until you can find another job. Get out of here, you are fired. The woman went to the judge for the judge to have a plea for her. The judge came and talked. There's no way. And Boakai said, "No way you going," and she went. So that's why I'm going to pass on people. So I know that this man, when he says something, he means it. All right. Thank you, guys. And I will see you people on another day.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
We appreciate it. Sir. Thanks a whole lot. So I'm going to post the link here again. So in case you want to join the show, we have some spaces in studio. You can click on the link, put your information, and you join the late night politics on Spoon tonight. So let me move to Cindy. Cindy, from the look of things, do you really think that a Cummings administration or the opposition community in general will have the ability to really prosecute, considering that in the very CPP you have the likes of Ambassador Louis Brown, and lots of people will mention the name Louis Brown as well when they're talking about the need for a change, a prosecute, and a lot more. What's your take on this statement from Representative Yeke?
Right. So look, when you talk about prosecute, I'm wondering from which direction. But again, I want to believe that you are talking about the issue of war crime code and the issue of corruption in the country. Yeah. Those two are the bigger issue when we talk about prosecution, right? I strongly believe that Mr. Cummings will go after corrupt leaders, corrupt government officials. They will be held accountable. They'll be held accountable for stealing the Liberian people resources. He has said that. And Mr. Cummings' position, the reason he's running to be president is to grow the Liberian economy. And anything that have affected negatively the Liberian economy or the Liberian people chances to grow their economy, get jobs, get investors in the country, he will go after that. So corruption will be a big fight. He's going to fight corruption and he's going to go after corrupt leaders. They must be held accountable. He said that several times. So it doesn't matter who's coming on his side. Whether Mr. Louis Brown is on his side, anyone that is coming on his side, if you have been deemed corrupt in the past, you must rest assured that Mr. Cummings is serious about holding down corrupt government officials. Now let's go on the other side when it has to do with a war crime court. I will be honest with you, from my opinion, and this is not Mr. Cummings' position, but as a Liberian, I don't think we will have a war crime court in Liberia. I don't think so. I don't think any leader will bring a war crime court. It's more of a complicated issue in our country than we think it is. I don't think we have the money. I don't think we have the resources. And I don't think our leaders or those that want to see Liberia move forward are interested in bringing a war crime court for a lot of various reasons. And this is, again, my opinion. I experienced the war. I'm a Crown man, proud Crown man. I experienced the war firsthand. My father was killed during the war. A sister, uncles, siblings. I lost 5 brothers in the war. But look, when I think about the Liberian Civil War, there are a lot of issues that contributed to our civil crisis. And I often ask myself, who do we blame? Everyone have a reason for coming into the war. And again, I don't want to be hit for this statement, right? But I think I'm here more towards a peaceful Liberia. I want to see a peaceful Liberia continuing on that path of peace. And I don't believe that a war crime code will solve the Liberian people problem. Most of the people that have inflicted the war on us are dead. They are gone. The few that are in the country, the few that are alive, I don't know how, it's a complicated situation. So I genuinely don't think a war crime code will ever come to Liberia. I think that time is far gone. If anything, it could have been done in the early stages after the war. But we have far gone. We are too gone past that. I don't think we're going to have a war crime code. So if I listen to leaders telling us we're going to bring war crime code to Liberia, vote us on the issues that will bring war crime code and hold people accountable, I see it as a joke. I see it as a joke. Considering some of the affiliation, and I'm not going to call names, they are all across. If you go to the UP, you're going to find people there that we can point to that fought the war. You go to CPP, you're going to point to people like Mr. Louis Brown. You go to the CDC, you're going to point to people. So really, are all of those leaders serious about war crime code? I don't think so. I don't think so. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Now, just to clear this, when Representative Yeke Koluba talked about prosecution, yes, you may be right, Cindy, on one hand, when you talked about the issue of war and economic crimes code in the country, but I think it goes beyond that. We have situations of unexplained deaths in the country. Those are issues. There are so many questions that Liberians have right now, and they're looking to get an answer to, with respect to some of those happenings. So I just thought that the prosecution that Representative Yeke Koluba mentioned will extend to some of those different aspects. But it's over to you, Toure. You can go on. What do you make of the statement made by Representative Koluba?
So look, like I said, thank you, Nelson. The statement made by my uncle Koluba, you have to understand, it comes from so many places.
Okay.
It comes from frustration. It comes from constant attacks and and the fact that he even talk about not getting paid all these time, man. Look, one thing he can do to a man, especially a family man, when you stand in front of, his, you are definitely put him in a situation where he can't stand as a man. When you take the ability away from a man to feed his family or his people, I mean, that right there, I don't think you can put any man or woman in any situation past that. But let me say this. In terms of persecution, all the other opposition men are going around, including President George Manawiya. The president is using it for, matter of fact, for bullying purposes. When he read it one day, he bring war crime code. When Prince Johnson goes somewhere, he uses it to threaten the man, right? So let us not use war crime code. But look, war crime code lost its relevance when President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf inability to have actually established war crime code. She was the only president that had the ability to establish it because the funds were there, they were made available to her. But the president could not introduce, you know what I mean, a bill that was going to in turn indict herself. You know what I'm saying? So let Librarian understand it here. Madam Sirleaf had the opportunity to introduce war crime code, but she herself on her in a cookie jar. So you can introduce something that you know in the long run gonna affect you. So the fact that she didn't bring it, that means no president will bring it. But I tell you what, the only man in the race that can actually bring war crime code and accountability, because Liberia need more than a war crime code. Liberia need more than a raw war crime code. And this is why I've emphasized on this statement continuously, and I'll continue to say it. Liberia is not ready for business. Or country, or city representative can get paid. And you got people telling the mayor that the mayor will not get paid until after the election. Is that not abuse of the Constitution? Is that not abuse of his rights? When we're talking about let us not enter in bush, I did not even understand the depth in which Honorable Yega Kolba have been subjected to. This is situation that put people to go in the bush. And obviously, I'm not a proponent. I'm not going to say
that's the next question I was about to ask. Was it really fair for Representative Yega Kolba to say, based on the way things are proceeding, if the president wants for them to go to the bush, they will go to the bush and all of that, mentioning the issue of going to the bush, judging from what the bush is.
Let me tell you, I'm a Madingo man, right? I don't want anything of that. I don't want any of that stuff. We've been there, right? That's not any we Liberian right now. That's not something we should be talking about. But look though, we have precedents. Precedents have been set, Nelson. These are situations when you do these things, when you continuously violate Constitution, violate people laws, you know what I mean, or abuse people, right? Like we talk about Cabinet Jane, the unconstitutional impeachment of Cabinet Jane, and then follow that ECOWAS intervene and say, pay the man. Up to today's day, the government have not even done anything to that aspect. So how these things happening? And when you continuously violate people, personal, space, and try to take away their ability to be a father by providing for their family, like in the case of Yega Kolba, where the man can feed his family, and you have people telling the man you will not get paid until after election. Who gave you that right? Who gave you that right? Is that constitutional? Is that constitutional? Look, I'll tell my uncle to stand back a little bit. We don't want no smoke. We don't want no war. Let's go through the process. But when the judicial system where people should have redress, and all of those, they may have exhausted all of these entities. They have all agreed that he should get paid, and he's not getting paid. Then come on, man.
Thank you.
That's what we talk about.
Thank you very much. Raymond, it's over to you. What do you make of this topic?
So the very first thing, I understand Yeka Koloba's situation, and it's a place that no man can desire to be, where the government using everything she can to oppress you, subject you to a lot of unfair treatment, and just make life miserable for you. And that's why our politicians have to be careful on how to do what to do. And not because, you align with a political agenda. When they're doing wrong, you should dirty your hands with wrong. The day you want to wear a clean shirt, people will remind you of the wrong you did. So Yekeba was right to mention Kun for his utterances when he was in bed with CDC. But our politics does. It puts you in bed with strange fellows. But let's come to understand the opposition. Why do we have to work with everybody? Because Liberia belongs to all. Whether you supported one political party before, and they say wise man changes. So when you have been on another side and did the things, but you have the right to always change and realign yourself. So if Kun have found it wise that he was in bed with the wrong people, and he wants to readjust and come and join the rescue train, he should be welcome. So Yeka should not take his personal sentiments, which he's right for, because, nobody have been oppressed in Liberia as much as Yeka, except for those who have lost their lives at the hands of this government. But, the election is about the numbers. Before you govern, you must win. So whoever in the opposition needs to win before they get governed. Your policies and your principles cannot come to government if you do not win the votes, if you don't get the numbers. So if Kun brings some of the numbers, yes, accept the numbers. But what agenda are you going to lead by? Is it Kun's agenda? And let's understand too, these opposition who have also joined the rescue train have made clear statements. PYJ said, bring the War and Economic Crime Code. I want to exonerate myself. I did what I did for reasons. My brother Toure said a lot of hands have been into the war. And sometimes we don't even understand some of these people. We just got a dark cloud over them, but some of them are victims. I will speak about one person on this show tonight, Yeka Kolova. During the April 6th, I lived around the Catholic hospital. We, the civilians that live around the Catholic hospital, could walk into the Oro market with $100 US. Our only fear when we were crossing the main road, the boulevard, a car could stop and harass you. All around there, civilians don't have no record of Yeka Kolova harassing them. Yet he was a commander. Yet he was a rebel, a different kind of rebel. And that's why you see Yeka Kolova winning Oro. People remember him for the time of the war. I remember he beat one of the guys who were around him for harassment. I was passing. And the way they beat the guy, we're afraid already. So what I want to say in short, not everybody that we have claims about that fought the war, that have been demonized, might be as people present them to be. Some of them might go to the War and Economic Crime Code and exonerate themselves. And the principle of our law is that you are not guilty until proven beyond all reasonable doubt. So all those who have been alleged of war and economic crime, let's consider them innocent until I lost a brother in the war. And we must bring closure to this thing. When my brother Cindy said he don't believe that war and economic crime code would be a reality in Liberia, I want to disagree with him. I believe the international community stands for a principle and justice, and they have a count of the number of deaths in the world. Once any president is serious about it, our partners will support us in this regard, and we will bring closure. I agree it's going to take a lot from us. If they could do it for Sierra Leone, they can still do it for Liberia. I believe our then President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and his current President George Manneh Weah, he also been accused for supporting Model. We don't know what the facts are. So who knows whether that's his reason of not supporting it. But I know JNB hands are clean. I know Gonglo hands are clean. I know Cummings is attached with Ellen, so he will not support such. And that's why I have no, surprise that when an ANC person speak like this.
Quickly, Nelson, look, Raymond, JMB has been accused of being part of the Lofa Defense Force as well. So who is clean in the country? That's the question. Who's clean in the country? They said JMB was a general for the Lofa Defense Force. I said they said I didn't see him there. But
so now let's proceed. So Raymond,
that's in 2 seconds.
Yeah, Ray, go ahead.
I mean, you were not there.
No.
Just for the way out, cancel
GMB look like, I'm not even a GMB fan, but GMB rather look like a general to me.
JMB was in the army. No, you can't dispute that. He was in the army. The JMB you know today is not a JMB then. I'm not accusing him. I said they say. I'm not accusing him. But the JMB you know today is not the JMB of yesterday. He was in the army.
So, excuse me, Nelson. You know, it's my statement and my brother respond to. Can I give some clarity? Because our audience are listening.
Listen.
And we can't let some information slide, my brother.
No, listen. Raymond, you said you think JMB can prosecute in so many areas, including the War and Economic Crimes Court. But Kumis cannot do the same because of his alignment with, what did you say, Louis Brown?
No, President Ellen Johnson. She is his puppet master.
So no, let's
disrespect Mr. Coming like that. Don't do that, man.
Okay, can I refine my words? Can I refine my words? Puppet master is not any way in saying someone who influence another and make them behave the way they behave.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I meant. That he's being heavily influenced by Ellen. I'm just using the word puppet master because he holds the string and make a puppet. So I refine my words.
Thank you.
But it was never meant to. I respect him, but I was just using the noon phrases to mean something in a nutshell. Sorry, but Liberians, that's not a phrase used common in our communication. So I refine it.
Thank you. Let's move to Sharif. Sharif, what's your take on this discussion, man? Yeka is saying, number one, if the president keep pushing him, if it causes him to go in the bush, you have to go in the bush. And then he comes back to say, he represented Yeka Koluba comes back to say that, Sandy, please mute. Representative Koluba comes back to say that he doesn't think the current opposition has the ability to prosecute. The number of people who have already started crossing over. Can we all mute? I'm getting, I think it's from you, Mola. Then it should be from Sherry. Sherry, can you mute? Okay, thank you. So he said, judging from the way he sees people crossing over to the opposition bloc and the kinds of people, the individuals that are crossing over, the individuals that the opposition that already started to wine and dine with, he doesn't think that this opposition will be able to prosecute after winning election. What's your take on that, Sharif? Just 2 minutes, then we'll move to our final talking point.
Yes, so I believe Yeka Koluba is saying that based on the previous records or previous past president. You know, you live in a country where you are accustomed to certain things. You believe that that's just the norm. So that does not mean that JMB is going to be one of those people. No. We know this man's track record. We know what he has done. People who have worked with him in the past, he's the man of integrity. He stands for a principle. And he's not serving those individuals. If you break the law, you have to face the consequences of the law. JMB is not going to be there to serve PYJ. He's not serving Yeka Koluba, or he's not serving this particular individual only because to shield them from persecution. He's going to be there to serve the Liberian people. The reason why we say this, we have already seen a glimpse of some of the things that this man is capable of. I would say he's the only presidential candidate in this race that has been vehemently against or antagonized by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf simply because he refused to decline an option to prosecute Ellen and her hooligans. He refused. That's one of the main reasons why that had caused a rift between the two of them. So that tells you that this man was with someone who was the head of the country, served the person for over 12 years, and the person said, "Okay, when you become president, will you prosecute me?" He said, "Yes, I will." That tells you this man stands for principle. And like my brother Mulba narrated a story yesterday about JMB, about the secretary that worked with him, about the integrity, how he let that person go. That tells you who the kind of person JMB is. So to cut that matter in, and I just wanted to dive in a little bit about what happened to Yeka Kuruba regarding the threat from the president that led to him making that statement. You know, when you push someone to a wall, and then there's no other exit point, the person is somehow going to resent, and that's what is happening. George Weah and his government has always been in a habit of inflicting these sort of threats on the people, and it has come to a point where people are resenting against some of these orders. So I don't really blame him. I don't really blame him. If someone threats you to hurt you and you have the same capacity to retaliate, why not do the same? Because when the president made this statement, where were the condemnation from the people? When he party conduct in violence against the citizens, where were the condemnation from the people? So when somebody comes, if you say like I'm crazy, another person says I'm crazy, and then the both of you guys meet on the same line, and then you think that you meet your match, and well, you guys can get it on. So I'm not going to be any way, shape, or form trying to discredit what Mr. Koluba said, or maybe somehow denounce what he said. What I have to say is that for all of us, we don't condone violence. However, the man also has his constitutional right to defend himself if a threat is levied against him. Thank you.
Wow. Well, I think we've concluded on that. Unfortunately, we lost the CDC guy. Daniel's internet is terrible, and he kept coming in and going off, and then now we've lost him. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. But now I just like us to move to our final discussion. But in fact, you got what? 3-4 Unity Party meeting here, so I don't know how we're going to move on with this.
No, but
Judge is in the comment section. He's insulting, but he won't come on the show.
Yeah, George is at work. The man says he's at work. So he said when he's at work, he doesn't pick up calls. All right. So yes. So let's go to this discussion now about our laws, the code of conduct, and the consistent violations of the code of conduct. Now, Councillor Verda wants to come in to make a point, first of all, on this war crimes court situation. He wants to provide some clarity. Some pieces of information from the legal perspective. I'm hoping that we can get him to come on. So let's see if we can do this just before we move to the final aspect of our discussion here tonight. But folks out there, thanks for joining us. I want to say thanks for always making up time to join us here on the Late Night Show. Again, I'm posting the link in the comment section. So if you're out there, you want to join the show, you want to participate, you want to make a contribution to the discussion, you can appear live on the show by just clicking the link in the comment section, and you will be able to participate here on the program. Okay, so there seems to be a little bit of issue here with our connection with the Councillor Verda. Let's hope we can do this again. Okay. So, Moba, just take over while I try to.
All right. So we will be discussing the code of conduct. When you look at the government like now, and you see half of the government minister, yeah, that's it, all the ministers, all of them now they leave their work. You can see them working, all of them on the campaign trail. So, but according to our code of conduct, I can read it and then we can discuss it until.
Okay, so Moba, I think we have Councillor Verda on, so we can just move over to him to have him provide some pieces of information with respect to this discussion, maybe before we move on to the next one. Councillor Verda, welcome to the Late Night Show on Spoon. We appreciate you for making up time to be here, sir. Wow. I hope it doesn't do this. The Miami network, so hope you guys will bear with me. I hope I can get Councillor Verda coming back on. Okay, let me connect with him on this line. Let me try to re-establish the connection. Okay, so I think we got it now. So we can go right ahead and connect with Councillor Verda. Push. Okay, so yeah, Moba, you can take on while I try to just
yeah, as I was saying, right, we discussing the code of conduct. According to section 5.1 of the code of conduct, all official appointed by the President of the Republic of Liberia shall not engage in any political activity. But today, we see the code of conduct being violated by the same government. The government probably should protect the law.
Okay, so we have Councillor Verda on the line now, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. Councillor Verda, welcome to the Late Night Show on Spoon.
Okay, Nassim, thank you very much for bringing me on. And I was saying greetings to the panelists, and that I follow you guys every time, but sometimes it's difficult for me to come in.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, thanks again for making that time, sir. Yeah.
Okay. The issue of the war crimes could just not clean my attention, and I thought to come in right away. There can be no society peaceful, progressive, or united in the absence of justice. We have to have justice for our society. At the end of the war, there are divisions. There were some people who were accused. Some people were accused falsely. Some people indeed committed the crimes they were accused of. And they will need the opportunity to vindicate themselves, to clear their names. That's why there is a need for us to have the court, so that all those issues of the past will be laid to rest. But now, the issue has been the need for an executive action. The two last presidents, President Sirleaf and the current president we have been reluctant. And most of the time, when people object to the War Crimes Code, is because of either their interests or the connections they have to people who will be affected by the War Crimes Code, or something of that kind. And the international community have agreed already, and they have made representation to the government of Liberia. And the U.S. Congress have passed a resolution on the War Crimes Code.
Okay.
That the funding is available. The funding has been sitting down there and earning interest. And all they need for the government of Liberia is to say we are ready. And then they will come, they will train people, at all different levels. I know there are several judges who have already come abroad for training in international human rights and war crimes. So Liberia has to get past this stage. If we don't do it, we'll continue to linger, and the confusion will continue, and we will never have genuine reconciliation.
No.
I know there are two future leaders, Honorable Barker, who has committed to it. Honorable Cummings initially said no, but he has reversed his stance. He now supports it. So we are making progress.
Wow.
So, yes, we look forward to Liberian people. Liberian people have decided already. So it's just a question of the executive taking the executive action to bring into existence the War Economics Crimes Court.
Now, Councillor Verda, I'm going to come in with the first question. Then maybe the team here will have a question they may want to come in with. So my first question is, you talked about executive action, and that some progress has been made so far with respect to the establishment of this War and Economic Crimes Court in our country. We know that this was one of the recommendations from the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which is served as a chairperson for right after the civil unrest in our country. Why do you think, Councillor Verdier, that we've seen a clear delay in this establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court from 2003, since the war ended, or can make it 2006 up to now? We're talking about 20 years since Liberia saw peace. As a legal practitioner, as someone who has been around, even serving as chairperson on the TRC, do you or can you figure out any reason, or have you been able to figure out any reason why we're seeing this kind of delay?
Definitely, Nelson, and like I said, the reason why people are against the TRC is because of interests. For the Liberian people generally, most Liberians at the time, they have fear. So it's either interest or fear. The politicians is interest. Ordinary Liberians, it was fear. They were afraid that if there's a war crimes, there will be war. But now Liberians have allayed that fear to know that whatever they want, whatever is good for their country, they will have to fight for it and they will have to make sacrifices. So Liberians are not bothered. But it's the politicians and their interests. Madam Salif, to start with, not only was she identified as being associated with the war and involved in war crimes, but there were two recommendations there for her. One of the recommendations associated with her was that she should not take part in politics anymore in Liberia because of her bad and negative influence on the politics of Liberia. And she wanted to run for elections. So because of that, she decided to ignore the recommendations of the TRC and move ahead to run her second term. But even after her second term, it continues to haunt her. That is why George Weah is there to provide a covering, a shield, or a protection for her. And I will explain this what many persons don't understand. But when I explain it legally, we understand. If you realize that Mr. Taylor was taken to court and prosecuted for what? For the war in Sierra Leone. Did Mr. Taylor cross the border to go in Sierra Leone to fight war? No. But the principle of Mr. Taylor's case established that aiding and abetting is a war crime. That's the principle from Taylor's case. At the time we were doing the TRC, Madam Salif was accused of aiding and abetting. By that time, it was not a war crimes. That is why she was in a different category, that she should not take part in politics. That was the punishment recommended for Madam Salif. But at this time now, it's established that aiding and abetting is war crime. You don't have to go on the war front. You can sit right in your boardroom. You make decisions and you assist those who are on the grounds, and the consequences you can be held liable for the consequences.
Wow. Okay, so
that's the difficult situation for Madam Seti, and Mr. Weah is providing covering for her.
Okay, so then we will move to the rest of the guys here. If they have maybe a few questions, then we so we'll take Cindy. Cindy has a question. Go ahead, Cindy.
Councilor, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Sandy. Thank you.
Well, yeah, it's good to hear your voice, and thank you for your expertise on this topic. So, I mean, I think we can all agree that the need to be justice for all Liberians, and I don't think I'm against that. But I think my concern, and I hope you can maybe help me, is that given that we have passed the issue of the war for about 20 years now, and the Liberian is trying to head in a direction of growing the country and bringing jobs to the country and employing the young people, trying to rehabilitate our youth. Do you really think that first that the Liberian people still want the war crime code, and second, do you think that the war crime code the issue of war crime code still have its relevance today?
Okay. Great question.
Definitely, Sandy, and it's a good question. And the question you raised is raised by many persons. And what I would like to emphasize is that all the things that are necessary for rebuilding the country can be executed at the same time. None is in exclusion of the other. We need to rehabilitate youth. If you go through the TRC recommendations, there's a lot of good recommendations there for you, including the situation of the so-called Zogos. It was captured in the TRC report. If you need to develop human resources and provide for our women and our children, that can be done at the same time you're pursuing justice through the War Economics Crime School. Nothing are mutually exclusive. Nation building is not a one-track process. Nation building, you have to bring everything that are necessary, especially after a period of devastating war we experienced, where everything is broken. Justice is one of those elements. And I can tell you, and I tell Liberians, if we do not ensure that there is closure in terms of justice, we will go back to repeat the past. And look around what is happening. If we don't do it, we repeat our past. The past will haunt us because we have not closed that chapter. And Sandy, for you, it is okay, let's bygone be bygone. For me, it may be okay, let bygone be bygone. But what's about other people? There are other Liberians who have different experiences. They want justice. They want to know how their people die. And the longer we delay, witnesses are dying, perpetrators are dying, and it's undermining justice. That is why people say justice delayed is justice denied.
Okay.
We have to build a wholesome, functioning society where everything has to be working, and if possible, simultaneously.
Thank you, sir.
And why do you think people are carrying on corruption? They don't care because they know there will be no justice, there will be no prosecution. Impunity will continue to be all of the day. And that is not the culture we want for Liberia.
Thank you very much.
I got a question.
Yeah, Moba has a question. Moba, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Fraudon. Wherever you are, good evening, good night. Yeah. Actually, my question based on the TRC report. According to the TRC report, all the people who testify on our TRC, and according to what you said, because I watched one of your videos the last time, and you said it, all the people will not be, their evidence will not be based on what they said during the TRC report. So how you guys going to get evidence to prosecute all the people if you try to bring a war crime court in Liberia?
Thank you very much, Morba. And as I said, that nation building is a wholesome process. You realize that I'm not in Monrovia, but we have investigated several cases. The killing of Ruth Early's husband, the executive protection officer who was involved, the killing of all the prosecutors, the auditors. We have investigated and documented all their cases, and investigations have been ongoing by independent bodies. And that's what will be done when it's time for the War and Economic Crimes Code. Those who give their testimonies during the TRC, they don't have to come back and give their testimony. They may come up and say, well, I want to give my testimony, and the testimony I give before I stand by it. But independent investigations will be carried out throughout Liberia. And I told the judge we have people that what we need is to begin the process. And from our estimation, when we announced that we won the War Crimes Code today, it will take not less than 5 years before the code is even established. There are processes that will be taking place to make sure the code is well funded. Once you get the funding, you have to get the rules of the code. That is a legal process. You have to train investigators who will go on the field and do the investigation or confirm the investigation. Everything the TRC did, I just leads into the process on what to do. Wow. But those will not be the evidence that will be used. And most of the evidence are already in the public. That is why we say witnesses are dying, perpetrators are dying, and that's all evidence that we are losing. Wow. But there will be an independent investigation by the court before they begin prosecution.
Thank you, sir. Sharif has a question, and after Sharif, we will take Toure. Toure has one question as well. But Sharif, go ahead.
Hello, Councillor Verdier. I'm Sharif. It's nice talking to you. You are someone I personally look up to. And I remember back in high school when the TRC hearing was ongoing, you were one of the person that was listened to religiously on a daily basis as that hearing was ongoing. And you are a lifetime hero of mine, and I do admire your work. I just wanted to say that. And my question here is this. We're from a country where, and I hate to say this, but people try to personalize certain things when it comes to their people. I would say we tend to be tribalistic when it comes to certain things. I'm going to break it down further. Let's say, for example, I'm from Lofa County, where Alhaji Kurma is from, and what led to him joining the forces. Some of us, our family were killed based on their last name or based on their religion. And then if you if you go a little bit further, you go to Nimba, you found the other tribes there that were targeted, and then they had to get someone from their clans to come up and defend them. So if you go through that, if you go through the entire county, you will find out that the 16 tribes, they all had people that stood up and fought. So based on the lens that you are seeing from, however, if you go to another side of the route, you say that they claim this person is a rebel, or you call this person a rebel, to that person claims that man or woman is a hero to them. So how do we overcome that sentiment and look at the bigger picture that we need a justice regardless of the person's religious affiliation, regardless of that person's tribes? We want a better country, which is Liberia, so that we can prevent another PYJ, another Kroman, another Roosevelt Johnson, and etc. in the future.
That's a valid point, Sharif, and thank you so very much, especially for the initial sentiments expressed about our work. One thing I like to say in connection with what you are saying is that court and prosecution for war crimes are all based upon rules and laws that have been established. There's laws there to define who is the victim, who is the perpetrator, and whether this perpetrator committed a crime, or he committed a war crime, or he committed a small crime. All of those rules are there, and the morality of the process is that, okay, you have your own justification for going into war. But if you want to fight a war, there are rules for the war. So you should follow the rules. We're not looking into why you wanted to commit it, why you went to war, or whether you were revenging all of that. But you took arms and you wanted to wage war. So there are rules for war. So we hold you for violating the rules of war. Just like politicians who want to be politicians, and then there is a code of conduct for politicians, or a code of conduct for good governance. So if you engage into that, or there's a code of conduct for becoming a president, a chief executive. For example, on our Republican form of government, the chief executive, that is the president, he never has vacation. There's no vacation, there's no break for the president. And there's a good reason why. So just as you said, there are categories for different crimes that were committed and different persons. Some people are denying it. If there is a court, they will have an opportunity to go and explain themselves and maybe exonerate themselves, depending on the judges and then the prosecutor. And the reason why you see international community and everybody is waiting, prosecution is an executive action. If the prosecutor says, I will not prosecute, you cannot force or compel the prosecutor to prosecute. The prosecutor will look at the evidence and you see where it's not sufficient, so I will not prosecute. The prosecutor will look at the case and then he goes for a plea bargain and say, well, this man crime is not very, very serious. So let us sit down and discuss it. That is why the international community is saying, since the people elected this president as their leader, we will wait a year what they will say to their leaders. And that is why you see Ellen Johnson said he stepped only because of her personal interest. Mr. Weah is doing the same. But Liberia is making progress. And what I like to say is that there is no limitation to when you can bring war crimes.
Okay.
There is no limitation, yes, when you can do so. So it may be done 5 years from now, later on, but we are making progress.
Okay. Thank you.
Honorable Boga wants war crimes code. Honorable Boga wants war crimes code. Councillor Gonglo wants war crimes code. If any of them get there, you know that we are making progress.
Okay, sir. So we'll take just two. Wow, Raymond, you already asked the question, so
No,
I think
didn't ask. It was Ture who asked. I didn't ask. It was Ture who asked.
Okay. Then Ture, we need to get.
No, I mean ask a question. No.
I think only two persons that asked.
Kenny went, Morta went, and Sherry.
And Sherry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then let's have Ture to come in. Ture, come in, sir.
So thank you very much. Once again, I'm always
Ture, have you asked it?
Yes.
Go ahead, Ture.
All right, like I was saying, Council, thank you for your work. We appreciate you. Obviously, I personally appreciate you for what you do. And I know your work. Obviously, your line of work is not something that a lot of people appreciate. But certainly I do. But let me ask you this question: why do you think I've embodied people that alleged perpetrators now in Liberia are the one now calling for this war crime code? Is it because politicians have watered down the thing to a point where they are actually using it for political aggrandizement? Like for instance, if you want Prince Johnson and Nima Kante is a rich vote Kante, you will not want to talk about war crime court. When Prince Johnson go on the other side, then you cover war crime court. I mean, what do you make of that?
Politics, my brother. Politics. Politics. Politics, my brother. Politics and interest. Yesterday, I listened to the show. You guys were talking about the utterances that come from the president. Normally, the president will say this and say that, and even his supporters can grab upon it and try to take action. If we go back, do we know how Jackson Doe was killed? Yesterday, the executives of the NPFL, I will not call him now because I don't want to put his show in trouble. The executive who, with whom, I mean to whom, Jackson Doe was taken to just say, I don't want to see him. That was enough for them to conclude that that person needed to be killed. And there are several cases with Samuel Doe. And even in the current case, when we had issue with these auditors, Innis was difficult to break. And then they went to Yiswa. So they went back to judge where we put a judge where these guys are giving us heart and don't want to break. You know what we have said? I don't want to hear about that issue anymore. Take care of it. And Nathaniel McGay went on to take care of it. And the issue was quieted down. It's very, very important what you are saying because it's all about interest. And people think that if they can use a situation to their benefit, they use it. But mind you, the perpetrators are the ones who are calling now because they know they have an opportunity to clear their names. If their names are not clear, they will live and they will die being perpetrators. And Labrimpo will see them to be perpetrators. And will go down to their generation. Even now, they are still hunting down people from World War II. And a war crime, when you're accused of war crimes, there's no limitation. It will follow you to your grave.
Thank you.
And it will follow your generation that will follow. So that's why you see perpetrators now are saying, let's clear this thing now while we can, because there will be another government who will want to live somewhere else and will not be able to have any freedom. They will not clear our names. That's it.
Thank you very much. We take Jerry. Jerry has a question. Okay, after Jerry, then we take Raymond. Raymond, you will go last, but let's take Jerry. Jerry, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. How are you, Councillor Verdia? It's a pleasure to be on the show. I want to know, you've been in this advocacy and played some strategic role, and there have been some hurdles in the implementation of this one and publicized TRC recommendation. From the international perspective, do you think there are other options available to increase our governance structure? Because for the last 13 to 14, 15 years, from the Ellen Johnson study time, even to the George Weah time, this issue about implementing all recommendations contained in the TRC report requires legislative action. So in case we continue to experience the difficulties that we are experiencing in terms of, those are supposed to act, but every time you ask the president or whoever, they say it is with the legislature. So if the legislature does not approve this, are you aware of any other option internationally that could be taken so that we could, because for me, I'm one person that support the implementation of all recommendations contained in the
TRC report? Yeah. Thank you, Jerry. Council, it's over to you.
Definitely. And the international community is just watching Liberia. And they are keenly watching Liberia on the issue of corruption. And if you note, 4 senior officials, including the Secretary of State have spoken about corruption in Liberia. And they know and have concluded that corruption is undermining the process. If Liberia does not go forth with the establishment of the War Economic Crimes Code, the international community will impose it on Liberia. And by imposing it, they will just go to the Security Council of the UN, get a resolution, and that would be the way for Liberia. War Crimes Code is something that the international community will never step aside because it sets a wrong precedent. And when bad precedents come out, we have to defeat it, we have to undermine it, and we have to discourage it. Above all, it promotes impunity.
Thank you, Council.
Just based on that, do you think it won't be construed as interference into our domestic affairs and undermining our sovereignty without the approbation of the legislature or any branch of government that is responsible to ensure that all legal frameworks are instituted to implement the recommendations of the TRC report?
Councilor Verda, are you there? No, we lost Councilor Verda. So Jerry, your question didn't go through. We didn't get Raymond to ask his question as well, and it appears that we have to go to the lines right after here because okay.
Okay, I'm back, but I didn't hear Jerry last comment.
What I was saying is that based on what you said, that a resolution from UN and whatever could make intervention, will that not be construed as interfering into our sovereignty or in our governance structure?
That's what it would look like, but that is why you see they have given us enough time. Somebody just, in one of the questions, somebody says, me how many years? For example, I have been out of the country for 12 years. And I did it here, so you know how long it's been. So since the war is more than 20 years.
Yeah.
And then since the TRC report was presented, it's been 12 years. So international community is being patient. They give me everybody a chance. You know, Erin King, she did what she could, she went. Mr. Weah is there, he will go. Another person will come until the international community gets to a point and say, well, we have to do it now. You know, and Liberia is a rich country, but very, very poor. We depend on the international community for so much. So for them coming to use their use their full force on us, I think they are humanitarians too. They think about it. So these people will just suffer. We have to do it, you know.
Okay.
But we don't want to get to that point where the United Nations Security Council will enforce it on us. It's going to be terrible.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tesla.
So, Raymond, you still have a question,
Okay,
or you
Jerry,
think we
thank
should
you.
go?
Yes, I do, and I've been patiently waiting for you to afford me the time. So can
Okay,
I?
Raymond, go ahead with
see.
your question.
They remind you
Councilor
to
Verdia, I want to thank you. I want to use this podium and the platform to say thanks for championing the cause of justice in our country and being the voice of the victims and the voiceless. And I believe our justice system is under attack, and will take courageous individuals who know the law and stand for justice to bring back justice into our country, especially into our justice system, especially being one of the champions of this War Economic Crimes Code. And I have no doubt that once the likes of you are around, we'll one day see it. But this is my question, because there's been an argument in our country that the War Economic Crime Code tend to take away from a lot of gains or foreseen gains, like development, reconciliation, peace, and the likes. And I believe that if we have had the War Economic Crimes Code during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf era, by this time, all that we are seeing at the hands of this current government, like the mysterious killing, infusion of $25 million in the economy, the COVID-19 $30 million loan taken to buy food for affected people that did not see all of these things really be a reality. But can you just outline some of the benefits of the War Economic Crimes Code for our people, especially the listeners, to understand in the layman terms?
Okay.
Definitely, my brother, and it couldn't be emphasized more than you have said it. And I'm up to conviction also that had there been the War Economic Crimes Code, all of what we see is going on would not have been happening. Remember, we see the War and Economic Crimes Code. So one is about economic crimes, and another one is about the war. Now, the economic criminals have their own interests. They want to protect what they have stolen, and they want to continue stealing. The code, the War Crimes Code, will look back, whereas the Economic Crimes Code will look at current and future crimes being committed. So that's how intricate it is. But you know, those two factors influence the war. The economic crimes give people the cause to go and wage war and to pursue the war and to persecute the war. Whereas the War Crimes Code is looking back to see what you have done, is what you have done. It shouldn't have happened, but we have to punish it. So what we have in Liberia now and what we need is a wholesome process that brings delivery to all of our issues. The War Economic Crimes Code will address the issue of impunity. As you rightly said, it is going on now. And people believe that impunity will continue. That's why they are doing it without conscience. The War Economic Crimes Code will address the issue of unity and reconciliation, because without justice, you can never have reconciliation. The War Economic Crimes Code will address the issue of development. If there's war tomorrow, everything you count as development today will be thrown down. So we wouldn't have made any progress. That is why if you listen to the language, somebody used the same language and said they are up for it. International community is saying the full implementation of all the recommendations of the TRC. And justice is just one component of those recommendations. Development, human development, resource management, and proper use of natural resources, all of those are all issues. Youth, women, everything that is necessary to restore Liberia to what it used to be. Because during the investigation of the TRC, we look at the problems and we try to identify solutions. Okay. So there are 142 pieces of recommendations, and the War Economic Crimes Code is just one of the recommendations. Okay. So you see, if all those recommendations are implemented, they will address all of the problems of Liberia. And the War Economic Crimes Code is just one.
Wow. Thank you.
Yes, there are so much benefits. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councillor Verda. We appreciate you for making up time to provide some of these pieces of information on the show, and you are always welcome, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And panelists, thank you also.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you for adding so much value to our discourse.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you have it, Councillor Verda. There. So, well, we left on set with Cindy and Toure. So we had Wakai, we had Gongolo, and then we have the CPP, Mr. Cummings.
You have Nelson.
Finally, it's balance.
So we're just going to make a round right here, very quick, very quick. Why should anybody vote listening to us now vote for Mr. Cummings?
Yeah, well, look, I think I will be repeating the same thing here, but it's better we tell the Liberian people what is confronting us. Given the current challenges in our country, considering that the Liberian economy is pretty much in the drainage, and given that we do not have investors in our country, and the young people are without jobs, turn to beggars Our mothers are unable to sell their markets, their goods, because there is no jobs in the country. And given the high rate of crime in Liberia, because the young people have nothing else to do but to get on the street and commit petty crimes. And given the issue of drugs, we know that all of that is summed around the economy. Mr. Cumming, Mr. Alexander Cumming is the guy that can do the job, that can fix the Liberian economy, grow our economy to the point where the young people can have jobs. Investors will come into the country. He's a negotiator. He can negotiate deals with investors that will benefit Liberian people.
Thank you. Thank
you. So Mr. Cumming is the guy that we should all elect so that our issue of the economy can be addressed in a timely manner.
Thank you very much. Toure, why should anybody listening to us vote for Councillor Gonglo? You have 1 minute on that because we have to go to the line.
Yes, thank you so very much, Nelson. At this point, Liberian, in Liberia and outside of Liberia, we understand that there is nothing that is holding this great nation back. The single thing that's holding this great nation back is our lack of respecting rules, laws, and just basic ordinance. Let me tell you, I got news for you. Tiawan Gonglo, the man who walks, talks, sleep, eat, laws, man. He understands. If your car get problem, you take it to an auto mechanic. You don't take it to some kind of keke, repair shop. So when you have problem with people respecting basic rules and regulations, you give that problem to a lawyer or seasoned lawyer or man who have sort of like sacrificed his entire life. You know what I mean? To fighting this thing. That's the man you need to vote for. That's the man that can take Liberia, put Liberia on the map. Then we can have all these Joseph Boakai men and Alexander Cummings then coming. Alexander Cummings is a farm man. Joseph Boakai is a state man. But I have a man who will come and set the stage. So when they come, they can flourish. My man, look, you get that man even says, yeah. Young Gonglo is not one somebody that want to go there and spend 12 years. Get that man says, yeah, then you go there, fix that play for you, and call you in. So
what are the signs? Listen, Toure, what are the signs that Councillor Gonglo can even fix anything? What are the signs? What is it that Liberians are seeing right now to guarantee them that Councillor Tiawan Gonglo can even fix anything? He served in previous administration before. Some of the very administration that are alleged to have carried on a very massive corruption, he served in those administrations before.
And his record out there, bro. His record out there. Why did he leave? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing. Look, there's the thing. Greed, personal aggrandizement. That is not something you have to worry about when you're talking Tiawan Gonglo. The man don't want to buy a big mansion. The man don't want to live and like you and I. When Tiawan Gonglo visit Philadelphia, where I am, we walk the street in Wool and he got a broom in hand. We visit all these African stores and market. You know what I'm saying? We sit down, we eat, we drink and that, we do all these things. The man, he's a common man, and his lifestyle have shown that. Time will tell number. He don't love that kind of a lifestyle that we have. Current President George Manneh we are is constantly dying to have, subjecting our natural resources and a little money we got to try to satisfy that lifestyle. That's not Tiawan Gonglo. Tiawan Gonglo don't care about that. The major one the best for everybody. Better education, better system that works for all, not just few, but all. And that's the president, and that's the president we all should gravitate to. And that's why, comes October 10th, Liberia will vote him overwhelmingly, making him win first round 75%. Take it to the bank. But when you're taking it to the bank, don't take it to a car great bank.
So you maintain this 75% prediction. You think Councillor Tiawan Gonklo will accumulate 75% of the total votes in the first round?
Nelson, first round, the Liberians are resolved. They understand Liberian issue.
In the first place, look, Turel, what is the momentum? What are you seeing when you talk about 75%? What are you seeing here to even talk about 75% for Councillor Tiawan Gonklo? Now, you're talking about 75% of the overall votes. You have Unity Party, you have CPP, you have all those different political parties. So tell me now, what's the percentage that even the UP or the CDC will be getting if Councillor Tiawan Gonklo will be getting 75%? Are you being realistic with that prediction?
Nelson, I'm not a soothsayer, neither am I a same quarter, but I can almost guarantee you, if you can actually base if you can base projection on the showing of crowd in Liberia political setting, base your victory on that, the showing of crowd, then I'm telling you, you're fooling yourself. At the end of the day, there are a lot of silent voters that you will see come October 10th. When that result shall come out, where it will be announced, the next president of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Tiawan Gonklo, at the time, a lot of you will come to the realization that what Turel been telling you all this while have come to reality. I'm telling you, man.
Thank you.
Don't sleep on us. Don't see us carrying broom around and you sleep on us.
Thank you very much, Turel. I like that. Jerry, why should someone listening to you now vote for Ambassador Boakai?
Yeah, if you were to open a phone right now, just say, let me tell you 10 calls. They will tell you about corruption, the extent to which it has damaged our country. It's a form of dishonesty. And this is a man who have worked in our public service and he get no record on him of misappropriating. The LPRC that other people serve and they are millionaires today, he served there. The man stayed in a house. The man said, what does not belong to you? Don't take it. So Joe Boakai comes with honesty. And honesty, like I indicated yesterday, is the best policy because if you say we collect $10, and that $10 is supposed to put rule in Peluke, my hometown, where there's no rule. Once you make sure you put that money there, Joe Boakai is not going to sit at the go to Capitol building and send, because he's not going to send a wicked document to legislature. So he ain't got to send money there to go bribe people to pass it. No, because it is your responsibility to pass law. Joe Boakai is telling you the only way we can implement these things in no time is what President Weah said that he did not go back. Look, give civil servants deserving salaries, make sure, empower them, the effective mechanism, set rules of punishment for those that will steal public money. Joe Boakai is saying all of the implementation of our arrest to look at our agriculture program to feed ourselves, to pay our road, for our people to go to school, our children to get better education. The only thing we need to do is to have a zero tolerance on corruption. And he's a classic example. And when I look around, I think people like Joe Boakai deserve a strong monument of integrity. It's not all what people talking people like Begube. No.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There are a lot of issues that we have to talk about concerning Joe Boakai.
Thank you.
Those listening to me, yes, those listening to me can understand that Joe Boakai have no record. They only can say the old man is over. Old man with integrity.
Raymond, is over to you.
And so my Liberian people, I want to talk directly to you, not nursing. We are at a critical junction. These elections are more important to you than any other election you ever partook in. Why? Because our country is dying and is going under. It's going to take you to rescue this country. Joseph Yima Boakai is under the face. And why is he the face? Because first, he's a man of integrity. All these years he have worked in this government, he had not taken much other than what was given to him as his pay for himself. And that's what Liberia should be like. We are rich with a lot of natural resources, but it's not working for you because a few persons are stealing, getting rich overnight while you keep suffering and can't even afford. Joseph Yima Boakai has leadership, and experience. He's going to bring the likes of Comey's own to work with him, to head National Investment Commission. He's going to bring the likes of John Molu, who is the champion for anti-corruption and auditing. When he make all his good reports, he will give it to Taiwan Gongolo, who is an astute lawyer and fight against corruption. My people, the man who has done it has proven himself and staying clean from corruption. All he wants is for Liberia to be good. That's why he said we should love Liberia, all of us. We should think Liberia. And when we do all these good things, we'll build Liberia together and all of us will enjoy. We'll not be watching the rich people giving up peanuts for us to praise them and sing their songs while they do anything they want to do to us. So vote JMB, my people, for a good Liberia for every Liberian. Not for the big people, but for everybody, including you. Especially those of you who going to bed tonight hungry, those of you who money got stolen by smart AI, those of you who have lost relatives during this regime from mysterious killing, those of you who've been ill-treated by massive corruption, and you're going through the hardship, those of you who got education, studied hard, went to school, they can get a job. Please vote JMB. Let us not spread our votes team for Gongolo, for Commies. All of them will work on a JMB and will build Liberia together. One nation, honor God, it's Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Guys, I'll see you guys, man. I don't know, it was my closing, right?
No, we're about to go to the lines. You going, yo. We're going to go to the
but I run it somewhere, Bagu.
Come on, Mr. Self-Regulator. It's the new year, man.
I mean,
Nelson, I have not spoken yet.
Oh, Sharif. I mean, we not even seeing you.
I even see you, Sharif.
Darkness. Go ahead.
You give me a minute. Let me just close with A and go, my man. You can take my own later on.
No, my man.
Sure.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait, Jerry. You gotta wait, Jerry.
What are you rushing?
Yeah, so
the main Korea, so you rush off.
Nelson. Yeah, Nelson. Like as the question says, the reason why that we should elect Joseph Nyuma Boakai, I want to say this to our Liberian people. For you that are in Liberia tonight, under the rain, you don't want to sleep because of insecurity, because you think somebody might come and bust your door and then they take your belongings. You, the Liberians, you don't even know what to eat tomorrow, because the little money that you are earning as a civil servant, the money has been cut over 80%. Or the little market you had, that market has no business because there's no money in the country. I'm talking to you, the Liberian, that you still have, or you have a relative who have died for medical negligence. I'm talking to you, Liberians, that who have, or we know someone who have died from childbirth. We have hospitals that are short of nurses and doctors. And yet we have government officials who are getting paid on time. They have all these resources. They have all this money. They're driving all the latest cars while your children are languishing in poverty. You have all these government officials. They're riding the latest vehicle that you can ever think of. They're riding private jets, and yet your children are in the street suffering from drugs that they allow into the country. Is that a Liberian that you want to perceive for yourself or your children or your relative? We want Liberia that works for all of us.
Okay.
You right now, if you get sick, you go to JFK, there's no medication, but when those government officials get sick, they're going to be flown out of the country and get the best care possible. But you, the voters, you are the one who's going to suffer. Are you going to continue to live like that, or you want change? And here's the good news. You do have a weapon that can bring that change, which is a voter registration card. And you can exercise your constitutional right on October 10, 2023 by voting number 2 on the ballot, which is Joseph Yuma Boakai, that will save our country from this nightmare.
You know, someone
Thank you.
someone just raised a concern. The person said, JMB said he stayed in the same house for 40 years, over 40 years. How does the over 40 years mentality even bring about a new Liberia, a new dynamics into, you know, the way we go about, you know? Now the world is advancing, you know, there are new ideas, there are innovations coming about every time, but here we are talking about someone who stayed in the same house for 40 years plus. That's the argument someone is raising. I just
Okay,
that
argument, the argument. Let me
I
take
wanted to address it.
Just 30 seconds. I'll give it back to you. I'll give you
I
back to
want
you.
someone who hasn't spoken
Okay.
yet. Maybe
Okay.
Moba could come on that. Moba is off. Okay.
So could we make a run with that? We could make a run. 30 seconds.
I can address that.
Yeah, exactly. We can make it round.
Okay, Sherry, speak to that issue. Then we go to the line.
You know, we have a famous person in America here called Jimmy Carter.
Uh-huh.
Jimmy Carter still lives in the same house that he was birthed in. That house, he's still there up to now. That speaks for transparency. That speaks for integrity. So this is the thing that we Africans or Liberians in general, we have come to normalize. That when you get in government, oh, my man, is your time. Oh, don't forget, oh, that your time. We have to swift away from that ideology that the quickest way to wealthness is through government.
Okay.
That's the reason why Joseph Boakai is going to come in and eliminate all of that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the lines now, and
Can I speak to that? Like we said, 30 seconds each.
No,
30 seconds to respond.
Raymond, I'll come back. So you could speak to that in your closing. I just want us to go to the lines now, since in fact our viewers have been here for a very long time. They've not had the time to participate in the discussion. I'm pasting the link in the comment section so that those of you watching, you can click on the link. You could just come on and make your point, or you can call the WhatsApp numbers on the stream. You can call me on any of the numbers on the stream there, and you will be able to make your contribution on the program tonight. We talked about the Yeke Koluba statement about going back to the butchers if he's pushed to the wall. We also talked about the issue that has to do with the lawmaker expressing some uncertainty over whether or not opposition politicians are going to prosecute some of the individuals who have already started crossing over to them, whining and dining with them. We had a brief discussion on the War and Economic Crimes Court. Councillor Verder was here providing some updates on that. And we landed here, of course, talking about why people should vote for. Why should somebody vote for Councillor Tiawon Gongo? Why should anybody vote for Mr. Cummings or Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai? All right, so let's go to the lines now. I think I have the numbers activated. Okay, so you can call the numbers on the stream in case you want to make a contribution via WhatsApp. You can also call the numbers directly, and we'll take you from there. Or you can call. You can just click on the link, and then you can join the discussion here today. So let's take our first call here. Let's see if we have this person coming through. Hello. Hello. Good morning. We lost this person. Okay, so let's take this person coming through. Good morning.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Yeah. So let's take this person. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. You could just reduce the volume of the gadget you're using to monitor the show. That would be okay. But go ahead, you're live.
Yeah, I think I want to speak about starting with Representative Cordova.
Mm-hmm.
It's I see people always trying to what's the word I'm trying to use? Always trying to condemn what he says, right?
Yeah.
But it's easy to condemn someone when you're not in their shoes and not going through what they're going through, right? We are all human. Honorable Culliver was elected the same way George Weah and any other representative that have been vowing to make his life miserable because he's not kissing Weah, but was elected, right? Respect comes, you're supposed to respect the presidency. The same way how you're supposed to respect his office as well. His office is constantly being disrespected, his family, his home, and nobody comes up and condemn that and says anything. But the moment he gets angry and talk, everybody, oh, you threatening the peace, oh, you threatening the president, oh, what do you mean by that? By what means?
Okay.
And it's so sickening. Like, I see that as being a hypocrite.
Okay. Okay.
And going through, and we are not going through it, so we see it as, oh, it's nothing. Because we're not going, they make it look like we are, it's the only human being, because he's the president is the only one who's entitled to respect and whatsoever. The president is supposed to be respected, but the person that occupies that office, if he's not holding that office to the highest that is supposed to be held to, I'm sorry, nobody's going to respect you. Respect is earned. It's not just given.
Thank you.
So the whole thing about that is really something in it, and something about somebody saying, what does George Barker stay in the same house has to do with anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stay in the same house, there's something to me, it shows that this is not a person that would come and want to use other people's money, like for instance, the Liberian people's money, and get carried away and want flashy things that our present president now did, and want to go and live above his means. He was not living the standard he was not living before, because he's in that office, he got a purse, the key to the country person that he want to do all of those things. He's been in certain positions that he could do that, he never done that.
Okay.
That's something to say that he's never gonna do it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a whole lot for your contribution tonight. Let's go ahead and take another person. You can call the number via WhatsApp, the numbers that are on the screen there, and make your contribution. Let's see if we can. Oh my word. Bear with me, sir. Okay. So let's take this person. Hello, you're live. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, I've been watching your show and I keep on hearing people say what Joe Walker has done. Do they look at what he has done there, the school that he has there? People don't talk about the school that Joseph Walker has in Koya. Why people don't talk about it? The company he had that the Samaritan using. Why people don't talk about it? Just send someone to Koya to check.
Okay, thank you. So you think because of the company 4 year, people should vote for him, right?
It's not a matter because he has combined 4 year, people should vote for him. It's a matter of people are saying, what has he done?
Okay. Okay.
From president to vice president of Liberia.
Thank you.
Which one of them have done what he has done?
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your contribution. We'll go back to the lines. We'll take 3 more calls and then we just wrap up. Let's see if we can take this person here. Hello. Good morning. Okay, no, we lost this person. So we will. Maybe we should come back and just wrap up. Maybe we should do this. So Jerry says he's in a hurry. So maybe we'll have to let Jerry go first.
Yeah, thank you. On the issue of the house, it speaks to integrity. Every time I talk, I try to intellectualize about, there's a thing they call the 3-in-1 policy. Joe Barker also emphasizes on the structure of the governance. When we talk about the 3-in-1 policy, me bailing housing unit, because if government build housing unit, you put water there, you put chlorine there. So when the person building or paying their bill, they pay water bill, they pay chlorine bill. It means that you can easily regulate because it's easy. Because in a developed world, many persons know the only thing you need is to have a job. Then you can have place to stay. But in our part of the world, people got to struggle to build houses, to build this one before they survive. Joe Biden said, one man, one house. You got to build a lot of houses. Yeah, if that's your own money, you're making business, no wahala. But to steal public money and come and build estates like what George we have done, like what Samuel Wolokoli have done, like what Jefferson Koji, like what other people, the entire government have done. That's why leadership is by example. The day George Weah started breaking down his structures to build, to rebuild them and build additional ones, it was a red flag. So it tells you that this next president of our country, Joseph Boakai, he said, one man, one bedroom. No matter all the things you're doing, man, you sleep in one room. So if you build a structure, your children get a place to sleep, you get somewhere to, find food and eat. You don't have to steal government money to do that. If you want to make business, you can go ahead and build anything you want to. But in the public space, you don't necessarily have to steal people money. Joe Biden is telling you that even when you want to add, like in my house, what I build now, I build in, I can look at it and say, they're sitting down, I want to change it. It doesn't mean anything. But to sit down and build new structure and to do is, he has successfully lived and nothing has happened to him. So as I call my people, I say to you, they campaign are on. If you scared of people that are around you, because the Jowia people, then they beating people, they killing people, they're doing all kind of things in the community. Hold your voting card because you already know that you will vote for Joseph Boakai. For those of us that can talk and engaging the people, don't be afraid of us. We will talk to you, make sure, let go and vote for the people and vote for Joseph Boakai. He's number 2 on the ballot paper. Don't let us scan that we are then passing around with, making people scared. They try to intimidate people. On the issue of Yaka Koluba, what Yaka Koluba said, for me, he was angry. I don't support war because I know war delayed me 14 years. I live in the interior. People went on our farms. People did all kinds of stuff when your rest is grown. They come and brush it. When I see George Bowley then passing around, sometimes I get angry. I don't want to be personal because they went into on our farm and burned people's houses as if there were charter that was sitting down, as if there was somebody was sitting down. All these things, sometimes we get emotional about these things. All these people that are doing these things, we must bring justice. So Joe Biden will not compromise anything. He said the law will be the law. And not the Musa Belete type of the law is the law. Musa Belete version of the law is the law. So thank you. It's an integrity icon. And I will join you guys tomorrow, hopefully, gentlemen. All the best. In Liberia, love Liberia, and let collectively build Liberia. And rest is our agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You want to run away now?
Yeah, thank you. But have any of you guys come across this photo?
Yeah.
Tell me my closing on that thing. My closing.
That's an NEC vehicle, and what you see back there is that they're putting a Weah stop up, and usually these activities are carried on in the middle of the night because they want you to wake up in the morning and just see the placards up. The during the daytime is busy. So, but let's have you guys to go around with your closing.
You want me to start?
No, you go last, Mora. So let's take Sharif.
My Liberian people, again, I'm back again. I'm back with the same message. And I know I will sound rhetorical, but again, we have to keep pushing the same message. When you go in that voting booth on October 10, 2023, it's number 2 on the ballot. The first picture you see, first 2 pictures, no, the second one, number 2, that you're going to click on. You can sign, you can fingerprint, or however instruction the NEC provide you.
Okay.
That's how we're going to have to do. That's the mandate we have. That's the only thing you have to do to get rid of the condition that we have right now. We are suffering from an epidemic, and we have to get rid of this autopause. That
Thank
is
you.
George Weah. Comes October 10th, 2023. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to no, Sherry is done. Let's go to Sandy.
Well, it was a nice show again tonight, and I want to thank all of you for your contribution to the show, and of course to the people that are listening to us. Look, I want to speak briefly on the issue of Mr. Boakai House. Look, I'm one of those folks that don't have issue with Mr. Boakai being in the same house for 100 years. This guy Warren Buffett, he's worth $119.5 billion. This guy has been living in that same old house in Omaha, Nebraska since 1958. And he's worth $119.5 billion. I said billion with a B. So I don't care whether Mr. Boakai lived in the same house for 1 million years. That does not, however, indicate that he's poor, though. It's a choice issue, right? I think the issue I have with it, however, is that the same Unity Party people will say, oh, come in, don't have a house in Liberia. Come in renting an apartment. Come in living in somebody's home. But then when we say, well, Boakai is in the old age, he's been living in the same house for 40 years, then they have problem with it. So that's part of the equation. Come in is building, come in have a house. The issue of the house is not important to the Liberian people. I think what is important to the Liberian people is who bring in the best idea to face the issues that the people are confronted with. And that person is Mr. Eddie Zana Cummings. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's squeeze in this brother before Raymond comes in with his closing. Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Just make your point quickly, sir.
Okay, this is the voice of Energy Lady. I'm so sorry I had to grab because.
But Daniel, what happened to your line? You came on the show and you just kept going off and on, man. You were representing the CBC, but I don't know how it turned out.
Yes. Yes, actually, our facing problem with the internet on my phone. Actually, for WhatsApp, and that of the Facebook, but I use the Wi-Fi for internet connection.
Okay,
but,
so just do your
not
closing. Yes, so just do your closing, Daniel.
Straight to the let me say thank you. I'm looking forward to joining tomorrow, and I would Liberian people, the media where the Uyale administration has put extraordinary accentuation on for developing the educational sector in our country. Not only that, the Uyale government has also paid key hint to the salary upliftment of supplementary and over 3,500 supplementary teachers. The building of the Emirates Hospital in Bakodo County, and as well the Protein Military Hospital.
Okay.
I mean, the connection of rules and all these are all necessary to re-elect the president of the Republic of Liberia for the betterment. I mean, you cannot. Rome wasn't built in one day, and I'm very sure that it is time that when you retired, the Ome Joe is retired at age 60 to 65 is retirement age.
Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned, Ome Joe is in his 70s already. I mean, Brother Raymond and whosoever, you guys are getting there. Just preaching the politics with a way that you have to propagate. But you are aware that the woman is very old, and it's not capable.
What's the age? Let me ask you. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. What's the age of the current president of the United States, or maybe the current president of Nigeria?
That's not an issue. But if you look at it, the health status and the strength of the current president of the United States of America, if you look at it, the health status and strength of the current president of Nigeria cannot be compared to Omejo. Omejo is very old and besides, he said.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
God forbid, we are not wishing for that, but we are area right that I mean, you may not
Thank you.
reach. I mean, the election law. God forbid.
No. You know that's not a route to go. Listen. No. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
When you start the old man age, just stop doing that. Solutions.
You know, but the first thing is age. The issue of someone aging is not a guarantee, or does not say that that person will die or that person will expire soon. There are people who are of age, they've been around, and younger people and energetic people, they know more. You know, so as that is no.
I hope you'll be listening to the show because I got to respond to that.
So we have two more persons to wrap up, right? We have Raymond and Moba to wrap up. And Toure? Okay. So let's take Raymond, then we'll go to Toure, and then Moba close us.
And so, my Liberian people, I want to talk directly to you. You see this regime called CDC and their supporters, the praise singer of George Weah, they want to sing his praise because that's how they eat small of the money, the stolen money, the people money. If they don't sing his praise, they don't eat some of the money. Everybody money, only a few persons eating it. The issue about age is a blessing from God. Me, I want to live old. I want to live long so I can be old. The Bible says any young man, his glory, that his strength, his muscles. The old man glory that he age because he get wisdom. Leadership, they ain't get no retirement for leadership. Leadership comes from experience. Leadership comes from understanding. Leadership comes from knowledge. And leadership comes from discipline. Age gave you all of these things. Joseph Yeman Boaka is the one to elect. Come October 10th. Not far is number 2. Why? Let's talk about his house. You, the Liberian people, what house you living in? Our presidents are not kings. Their house and living conditions shouldn't be too far from you. They shouldn't take all the national cake, all the resources, the gold diamond, and get rich while you be poor. They may talk about Emory Hospital, but my people, you'll be the judge. He talk about 14 military hospital, my people, you'll be the judge. What a health care. When last the president went to the Emory or the 14 military hospital for treatment? When Samuel Tuer got in a misfortunate incident, where he went for treatment, did he go to any other places? They know it's substandard. They know it ain't mean nothing. But don't be deceived by those things. Liberia deserves better. We deserve good health care. I'm a Liberian. I don't want to leave Liberia to come to live good life. I want to go right back home and live. It's possible. We got a lot to be able to achieve this. But this current government, they're talking about all the development. The roads they're building. If current former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf had not instituted the road funds, would they come to see money? Every gallon of gas you buy in Liberia, you pay 30 cents. So all the development and roads are going on. President, we are there plenty of that money. Now, small to take to go put inside it. The corruption too much in the country. The suffering too much for you. Please, let's work together. One person can't do it. All business. They'll come together. They'll put the old man there who will not steal for himself, not steal for his children, because he not even want it. So all of us can enjoy it. Mr. Cummings will be on the table. Mr. Gonglo will be on the table. Clarence Monva will be there. There will be minister. Who tell you say you can be minister and work for the Liberian people? You got to be president first. Only one president at a time. But you all say you're not how to do it. Well, be your minister. That will work. Cummings, and you know all about investment. Go to National Investment Commission. Gonglo, and you know about justice system. Minister adjust a job there for you. Can't do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Clarence Monva, you young man who will say to youth and sport. Thank you.
Thank you. The man say he want to be president, he say youth and sport. What kind of demotion?
Roman, I let Roman, he let the get our man in position in the player. But look, man, on a serious note, right? Let me tell you this, man. We all know President George Manuel Weah is of no good. President is not interested in democracy. If you look at the president is more interested in establishing what we call political hegemony. You know what I'm saying? That's what the president is interested in. But my Liberian people, there's the thing. The good news is you have a man into our own gonglo, that man just care about rules and regulations. And I'm gonna tell you this, because I live in a country that respects its rules and regulations. And you see, man, let me out straight. If I go like bro, if I walk, anybody know me. I get plastic bag in my hand. I eat banana, I put in the plastic bag until I get home and dispose it. Right? In as much the street is dirty, but I don't put it in the street. Same way. Because you know what? I have that orientation now. And that's how we expected President George Manneh we are. After living in a same condition that we all have lived in now. But what the president did, the man went down there and subject the Liberian people to suffering that they have never seen before. Amen. No, let me tell you this. I'm not even going to say anything about Honorable JMB House, because it's just a distraction to what we should be talking about. I'm more interested in talking about the president record. The president say, okay, the Liberian people should give him another 6 years. Amen. Have we not seen what 6 years given to this president have mean to this country? Have we not seen the hardship? The hardship, it's at a rate that we have not seen before. Like I'm sitting here, people just sending me, my man, just send me $15 back. People don't even ask me for $50 and $100. Man, they ask me for $15, bro. I mean, I've been here on an airline. I swear to God, I'm not even gonna make anything up. Friends that I went to school with during our refugee days, they're all doing something better. And if I say judgment, that I should take it from them. Nobody ever called me here to send us something. But now, if I show you my messenger right now on my WhatsApp, every day, my man, I just sent $10, $15. You know what I'm saying, bro? These are reality. And for people to sit and see these things happening, and I have any issue with this government, and people are out there telling people to get him, man, another 6 years, bro, I don't know, man. If LeBron will be that, you know, and get him and get Joe with another 6 years, I don't know what to make of our people, man. But I know my people will understand. My people have learned. They gave President George Manneh we had 6 years because they said they may have the country at heart. But now only they may have you say at heart when they had to go at heart. By the end of the day, people make mistake. Even God said you make mistake and you repent. The Liberian people will repent and they'll go October 10th, and they will vote overwhelmingly for number 6, Honorable Tiaon Gonglo. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Mobile, you can take us on.
Yeah. I listened to my brother, my CDC brother, talking about retirement. I only want him to show me the constitution that says if he passed 70 years, or maybe let's say when he passed 70 years, he shouldn't run for president. Then I can carry that debate to another level. But for now, I remain constant. And secondly, we still discussed the rule of law today, but due to the time and other issues, was not able. But immediate glance on immediate do my closing on it. First of all, the rule of law have violated it clearly. We all can see it. Number one, you just posted the car with that GSM, or NDC, right? With them putting who election commissioner car putting Joria poster up. What that indicate to you? What it says it made? It's simply trying to tell you that you guys, the election here will give it to Joria. No matter what you do. But we get one message for them. If they try to rig this election, we'll leave right here. We'll move on them. We're not scared. We won't push violence, but we're just telling them if they won't win the election, that it be free and fair, transparent. They shouldn't go over there and when they do the counting and thing, they say, oh, they all play la valid vote. Invalid vote. Cities, United Party invalid vote. Maybe 2,000-3,000 invalid. No. Then they will like chaos they want. So the only thing they can do for themselves, let our election be free and fair. They have already violated all the laws. There will be no penalty for them because they feed it in government.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mobile. My man Sherry said I didn't gain much time to conclude, but Sherry, thank you. Tomorrow we're gonna give you much time to Brenda Lynn?
You and Cindy nice. That's
Huh?
good. You and Cindy are same team.
No. You know, Cindy is okay with the process. Cindy had sufficient time, and interestingly, Cindy is alone. He's a lone CPP man on the show. We have you, we have Morba, we have Jerry, the self-regulator. Then we have Raymond here as well. You know, you guys.
Your statement is unfair. When you say Cindy is the only person here, Cindy and Jure are the minorities in the CDC people.
Don't use minority. We are the only people here. Forget about minority.
The number makes sense because it reflects how the general population or how the general election is heading.
Definitely. This is just a reflection of our
We told
population.
you about the popularity contest. You should depend on the popularity contest. You will see.
No.
But man, every election are won by numbers. It's not won by philosophy. Numbers.
We understand, but don't do these campaign rallies, man.
Wait. Let me ask one question. Ture, you really serious with that 75% prediction you always
Ture got dropped.
Wait.
Yesterday.
But you have to understand. I'm not. Look. Maybe you guys may say I'm oblivious to reality, or maybe
I'm continuing.
I'm taking listen to the
That's just what you just said.
Look, I remember.
That's 75% of the total vote.
Oh, man, let me tell you this.
That's just what you just said.
Look, let me tell you this. I know Ramon gonna say something, but look, on some real though, I believe
100%.
Tiago Gonglo surprised a lot of people, man.
No. Listen, we're not disputing the fact, right? No, listen, we're not disputing the fact that he will not come. But you say 75%.
That is 75%.
If you 49, you have to 49, my man. You know, man.
Kumi, how are you? How many percent? 100%?
No. We gotta be realistic. Kumi is not gonna pull 100%.
How much percent?
I told you we are heading into the second round. So to get from the first round to the second round with me, at least we're going to hit at least 45%.
And then I got drafted ourselves.
45%.
And guys, we're
taking
all
us into the second round. Then we get to the second round with big Wakai, massively.
And guys, we're all understood, right? I tell you what, if Taiwan Gonglo pull more than 5%, I'm impressed.
What?
If Taiwan Gonglo pulls more than 5%.
Oh, come on, man. Remember.
Hold on, gentlemen. Let's look at our voting trends.
Okay, all right.
Who have been first time on the ballot and pull such a number? So if Taiwan pulls more than 5%, with all the odds against him, I'm impressed. If Comey exceed his mark
10%,
7%, I'm impressed.
No, but I think 7% came out. They're going election. So that would be anticipating maybe around 10%.
For me, gentlemen, let me just say this: it's going to be a win for Cummings to pull more than 7%. It's going to be a win for Taiwan Gonglo to pull more than 5%. It's going to be a win for Molva to pull more than 1%. If they can. No, I'm not trying to bully anybody, right?
Ramon.
I think we need somebody from Dr. Monoma.
No, but listen, we can't dispute the fact that Ramon is saying.
You know what? You know what's gonna come to play for Tian Gonglo? The flagrant abuse of the Constitution. That's gonna be on a lot of Liberians.
But that one win election will pay that.
So
I want to say thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for that.
Win election will point that to go to the Justice Department.
Sherry, my man, Sherry, you know what? I'm not gonna say what I really want to say because I'm all about all position unity.
Ramon, look, we go, we can't
and guys.
Yeah, I'll leave it here tonight.
Wait, the dealer.
My man,
Thank you, guys.
So I think doing before election night, Raymond, before election
I
night,
was at the yard there.
we're going to
Actually,
put money under your debate. I'm willing to put money on your debate.
And man, we'll drink with your money.
Okay, all right.
We'll drink with your money.
Thank you,
gentlemen. I don't drink alcohol, but I'll drink water with your own.
And gentlemen, with that being said, I believe these two gentlemen, Cummings and especially Gonglo, are needed in these times to help improve the livelihood of our people. The expertise they bring is invaluable. So the rescue train cannot be complete with the absence of these two individuals. So I believe, and I'm an advocate for a government of inclusion, to not exclude. And please, this is an appeal to you guys. You guys support them. When they are called on to come and serve their people, please let that pride overtake them and say, because I'm not the president, I can't. Yeah, let's work together. It's the Liberian people that matter. Our individual need is not important than the needs of the Liberian people. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Number two, man. Number two. Be all the way. Not the show.
I see. I know what Jerry won't come out here for. Jerry really close. He say he going to work. Then he come out again in the background. I think we are Jerry.
Jerry, I see a fit.
I gotta go.
Bring the man on. Let's hear what you got to say.
See the man face. Camera, let me see.
I think when Jerry keep press right now, they're gonna be oh my
man. The ANC man, you provoking us too much with this. Trying to talk about Joe Biden is and all of that.
No. The man not attack Joe Biden age.
No, I know.
Good night, gentlemen. I gotta go. Good night.
Yeah, but man, I know what you're going through, man.
Don't bring JJ for here. I never attacked the old man age.
We'll be on today.
I have an 84
Sandy, my man, Sandy, call me. Let's talk, man.
I will call you.
Yeah, my number, Raymond, get my number.
I will play chess.
My man, Nelson.
You see it?
Nelson. My man, we not gonna have me in the chat room now, my man.
So you in the chat room?
Man, I in the chat room.
Hey, Baba, say a number to them.
My man, you start treating me like a stare child, man.
No, just send me a message on
WhatsApp.
You send me a message on any of the numbers.
That would let me share it friend on Facebook. I just got to get a Facebook, my man.
I don't do
Facebook. Oh, you want me to drop my number here?
I didn't even know our friend with Raymond. I didn't know our friend with Ture. I didn't know.
But you know that we're from Facebook?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, the both are only two of
them. Remember,
I'll look my favorite
brother.
No, I don't do Facebook.
Oh, you on Facebook?
No.
Stop playing and watch all your news from YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I watch Spoon on YouTube.
But I'm only Spoon to get all of media outlets.
I only watch Spoon. I don't listen to the other weak new outlets.
But all the people by you, they bought all of them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen. They use the amount of money to them.
Thank you, gentlemen.
They don't be talking to some good people.
Good night, guys. Hope to see you all here tomorrow.
All right,
gentlemen, it was a good night.
Yeah, man.
I say hope to see you all later.
Okay, guys, later. Good night.
It's 12 midnight already.
Let me take a picture of these numbers quick before you end the show. Okay, I got them.
Yeah, so these are my numbers. Once you send me message on WhatsApp, then I will add you to the chat room. Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah,
thank you once again, Nelson, for the hard work. We appreciate you. Thank you, and you have a wonderful night, my brother.
We always appreciate you, Nelson.
Yep.
You too.
We'll get some sleep, my brother.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Right, bye, gentlemen.
Okay.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, Stan coming with the spoon. And you
want to say thank you very much for following this edition of the program, the Late Night Show on Spoon. You can join us tomorrow for another edition of the program. Of course, we're going to be here making sure that you have the platform to talk about those different issues of concerns. I'm Nelson Colette. The next time we meet here again is going to be tonight on Spoon Talk, or better still on the Late Night Show. Until then, have for yourselves a good night. And remember, let's keep the peace. Liberia is all we have. And bye-bye for now.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, Stan Turner with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charge it.